getting near Limey. You don't need me to hold your hand. Spook said, "Am I in the right place for the Lindsay Appreciation Society meeting?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We all appreciate a bit of Lindsay because Lindsay comes on and half of us disappear to go and make a drink, and then come back and
Now,
go.
Okay. Hope nothing's changed, so I should still be able to share. I do that. I do that.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's working.
So that still works.
So I can now.
But I need to
you
make
in
that
here.
bigger, don't I? There.
Oh, what
Okay.
for the YouTubes?
No, for you guys, I have to make it big.
Well,
For
you
sharing
can,
in here.
or if you can,
You
then,
guys see it bigger, so that way you're seeing it live.
Well, we can just.
Zeb, don't say that. No.
All right, it's Zeb's fault. Everybody make note. If it does,
Yeah,
it's Zeb's fault.
Zeb's fault. It's your fault, Zeblon. What do we need? Need sound and
Lindsay speed.
speed.
Doesn't sound as impressive as warp speed, but you know.
Yeah. Okay, what's the title called? FE Moon and Sun Cycles through the Zodiac Constellations.
Okay, whatever.
Okay. Where's Matt?
Get on with it.
Oh, look, it's the old man from Scene 24. What's he doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we
I know
go.
that.
Oh, what are we doing? What are we zooming in for? It doesn't make it any
Welcome,
difference.
everybody. Welcome to the Tomb of Illumination.
Oh, he's dropped the illumination then.
No, not
Illumination.
the
I was
illumination.
right
No.
about what the ill means. Fake truth. That's the Illuminati.
Oh,
Fake truth. Liars.
no.
Illumination. Good word for the earth and the tomb. Enlightened people will understand this. That's what the earth is. It's come from creation, the place of rest, perfection. That's why earth has been
Oh, he's outside.
exists.
Man.
It's come from the place of perfection.
What's daytime out
rest.
there?
Yeah.
That's the right resonant frequency.
Hello,
Anyway, if you haven't seen any of my videos before, go check them out. But this one is about the moon, how it works in the flat earth model, and the sun and the stars.
Okay.
We are told that the moon moves the fastest of the celestial bodies, moves quicker. I think they made it that way. It moves quicker through the constellations, through the zodiac sign. How does this work on the flat earth design?
Well, because it's closer than them.
You wouldn't say it's the quickest because it's actually the slowest.
Is it?
It's because the stars and the sun race ahead. They're leaving the moon behind.
What?
Okay.
How?
What happens is over 1 month, the sun does 2 to 1 with the moon. So if the sun's raced ahead with the stars,
What?
the moon's falling back, falling through all those moving constellations that are flying ahead. So the moon ends up going through the whole set of constellations in 1 month. When the sun has to take a whole year because it's flowing with the stars. But over the whole year, it laps the stars. So there's the 2 to 1 at the end of the year.
Daytime, nighttime work, Lindsay?
Whole science, the moon moving fast. Does not move fast, moves slow. Might go through the constellations fast, backwards. No, it is the slowest of the celestial bodies.
This is too much.
The sun and the stars are moving ahead, leaving the moon behind to drift backwards through the signs over the month. Why or how over 1 month? Because the sun laps the moon over 1 month. Continuously flowing around the celestial gap here. The sun's racing ahead, pulling all the constellations with it, moving with it, and the sun's dropping, the moon's dropping back. Going through all the constellations that way.
There you go.
That's how it works.
Done. Don't cook them anymore.
Sun is quickest. It laps the stars over 1 year, plus a little more. And this little more, this little extra, is what we call the precession of the equinoxes. When the sun creeps a little forward each equinox. There is no bullshit tilting, wobbling, spinning ball earth. Total garbage. Look at it. They have to put it on a bit of a tilt, don't they? 23.5 degrees. Why
What do
is
you mean
that?
we had to put it on a tilt? We didn't do that.
The suit reality. 23.5 degrees. The ecliptic plane goes like this from the center of the flat Earth and then up like this.
Right out, yeah.
Then if you're going like this. Nothing to do with that ball. Take that out of it.
What Lindsay did with that ruler, I was arguing with somebody about that the other day. I forget who it was now.
Wow, how does the ball just end up on a 23.5 degree tilt?
Oh, that's right. It
Load
was
of rubbish.
yeah.
So there's your flat Earth design. So these are the magnetic cycles. 2-to-3 ratio. 2-3. One magnetic cycle of infinity. This is what phi actually is, but no one's taught it. The magnetic cycle comes in around the Arctic, comes back out around the south. Okay, so it's always going like this. The infinity, whoops,
And
infinity.
how did we detect
Magnetic
this?
field all the way around like this. But one full cycle from the north to the south and back again
Is this in
is
his head?
this. Every man sees
yeah,
one in
but
his
how do you
arc of
detect
horizon.
it?
He only gets one view from the south to the north.
Is there a way to
He'll,
detect
he'll
it?
get his one image of the sun or any celestial body. It's just how it is. His own personal arc, his own personal dome. And the focal point resides within that dome because it all comes from the center here. It's all reflected out. So we do not see reality, which is back in there. We just see our image out here,
And what's the reflective
in the
device
magnetic
that
field cycle.
reflects it?
our arc of horizon. So you could say we're a fraction of this, bring it right back to one, just having one cycle. That's all we'll see in our one arc of horizon. Anyone around here will see the same image. He just gets one of his images from north to south.
Can I
That's how it works. It's simple. Earth
Can you what?
I was just wondering, you know, like 2023 to me is all about, you know, being a good person and a bit of compassion. I was wondering if we could start a GoFundMe to get Leslie one of those jackets that makes you hug yourself and one of those nice soft walled rooms.
We're not
Uh,
sure that he's already in one of those rooms because
Yeah,
they
that's
just
He has panned around. It is a normal room.
That could be green screen, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But But the only thing is, we haven't seen behind the blinds to see if there's any
That's
bars
true.
there or not.
He's
Yeah, I
losing
thought-
spot like more and more.
They don't been there making videos to keep him calm.
Sorry, Alan, you garbled a bit then.
Sorry, I think he's just day room. They let him in there sort of once a week for half an hour, just to let him get it off his chest and keep him calm for the rest of the week.
Ah, okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
It's a splat and has a dome. It's like a.
You can put your hand down now, Lomi.
We're on that flat Earth. Pretty straightforward. Everything just
Right.
drifts around here because all coming from that center, reflected out. All these magnetic field lines here,
Not there,
millions
man.
of them,
Thank
all the
you.
way
No,
around.
I fixed it.
all the way
It's
around,
okay.
everywhere, all the way around. The sun is anywhere on this field. You could say the whole thing's lit up, but man, wherever he is in his own arc of horizon, will only see one image, like a photon from the proton, the actual image. One image.
Photon from a
Someone's further
proton.
out south, we'll get his image.
Oh dear.
The way it is. We're just a little slice of Earth. Got the overall picture here. We just take apart one little piece, and we're it. It's our one little piece, one field cycle, from north to south. They've got your camera. You're only going to get one. If you had it going all year long, you're going to get one sun and a lemma. If he takes it from here, he'll get this one sun and a lemma. This guy could take this one from here, and he'll get one. You'll get one. This guy will get one. This guy will
You get one, you get one.
That's the way it is.
It's
You
an
get
opera,
one,
an
you
opera,
get one.
operate. It's
So you
opera.
cannot live on a ball if this is the ratio. That's symmetrical.
Oprah
Yes,
says
we
you
just
get
do
one,
ratio.
you get one, you
You
get
don't even
one.
understand the
Everyone
magnetic
gets
field.
one.
There has to be this
Well,
ratio.
they're like
for this-
assholes.
the strong
Everyone's got
field
one.
to rush to
Yeah.
the weak field, and the weak field to rush to the strong field. That's what keeps it going. But because we have the dielectric gap, of avoidance.
Toilet
They
get.
never find rest.
That's of
They
avoidance.
never find rest to find.
Avoid that
Otherwise,
gets-
all life would cease to exist on our realm. That's a
Realm.
no-brainer.
Oh dear.
I mean, science should be stopping right now and going, oh my gosh, we're cocked up. Time to rewrite all the books. But they're just
Somebody's
ignoring
cocked
me.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They decided.
Yeah, I wonder who.
No,
They
the
keep teaching the
scientists.
children garbage. That's it, guys. That's the way it works. Moon dropping back, sun and stars flying ahead. The sun laps the moon over 1 month, and then the sun laps the stars over 1 year. And that little creep forward of the sun is the precession of the equinoxes. No tilting, spinning, wobbling BS ball.
I'm going to pop
Well,
back in a
next video.
sec. I'm going to go and switch to my
Thumbs up if you
laptop.
like it, or the likes or whatever.
Fair enough.
Don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't seen my videos before, go check them out. Cheers.
Huh? That it?
Oh, Christ, that was a short one. 9 minutes and 16 seconds. He's not even trying.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a quick one. That one.
Ah.
Oh, we don't want all that. Oh, stop that.
Oh,
A
wow.
Lindsay quickie. No.
No, 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 no.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh no! Don't say that again.
What? No, sorry.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. Oh, we lost Limey.
He said he was just going to switch
Oh, okay.
something or other.
Switch something. Okay.
Yeah.
He's okay.
He's probably going back indoors because it's so bloody cold outside. He probably nipped out for a quick smoke.
Well, it was sunny. It looked sunny where he was.
No, trust me. That I was going to say there's not a cloud in the sky, but there's a chemtrail forming just over there.
Okay.
And yeah, it's very, very sunny, and apparently it is 0 degrees.
I'll get a word in here
Because
in a
Even though
minute.
the sun's out.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
the sun's
no.
out, but it's chuffing cold. And if these boys turn up with this washing machine soon, I'm going to have to go and have a word with one of the neighbours and say, "Can you please move your truck?
Oh.
There isn't enough gap at the moment to get anything down between the two vehicles that are out there in front of my path."
Have they got to come through the garage or a different
Oh.
way?
No, they're going to have to come round the back of the house and straight into the kitchen. You won't get a washing machine through my garage and into the kitchen. Not going to happen.
Okay. Okay.
So they've got to get onto the path. And at the moment, you could get sideways between their two trucks. There's no way you're getting a washing machine down there.
You getting a washer dryer or a front loader or a top loader?
It's just a front loading washing machine.
Oh, okay.
I don't need a dryer. And if you've got a traditional tumble dryer, there's no vent in the wall to connect up to anyway. So
I've just got the top
Mm.
loader type washing machines.
Terry,
Yes, please.
I'm streaming Timbo, streaming you. We're all streaming.
Okay.
We've got a cycle.
Well, we better be careful then. If
oh yeah, so you have.
Well, yeah, we may overload the interwebs here.
Oh right, so if it all crashes, we know who to blame. Right, okay. Sorry, world. You know when the entire internet crashed?
Yeah, that was
It was
good
these
we
two
had-
guys.
Yeah, it was Blue that did it. Yeah,
It was blue.
Okay.
Blue took down the interwebs. Oh, jeez.
And what did you use for a thumbnail?
so-
Oh, the Thanks Bev one. That one.
So if I stream
Oh, right,
you
so if it all crashes, we know who.
Oh,
Terry,
you've
hang
got
on.
a few people over there.
Blue's got more people watching than you have, Terry. Come on. This ain't good.
Hey, that's not fair, Blue. You got 22 over there,
Hey, I gave him a link.
and I've only got
Here, I
I've
got my
only
note.
got 16 over here.
Yeah, I'll tell him. I'll tell you. Look, I'll fix it. I'll
that's
fix-
that's
Yeah,
a good thing,
geez.
Terry. That's a good thing. That's more people that
What is it? Well, how many you got? How many you got then? Huh?
Me, three.
Just don't cross the streams.
Teams don't cross the streams. Oh dear.
I think I've got one watching at the moment.
Yeah, come on, you guys over on the
And that's
stream.
you,
Come over
Timbo.
here.
But they know,
Just know how to find his way here.
Okay, I put the link out again.
Okay.
All right.
Again.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to drum up some business for you here, buddy.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you
yeah.
build
I
out
need all
my
the
link?
business
Because
I can
aren't you
get.
streaming me, streaming Terry? So so you put my link out, and I'll put Terry's link out in mine, and then.
Well, that means I've got to put your link out in my stream. Okay.
You could, but that's all right. I already
Oh,
did.
don't do that. No,
Oh, you already did that.
I don't. No.
Remember, so that they could hear what was going on early in the piece.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think my audio. Yeah, my
Okay.
audio is good. They're here,
Where was I?
everybody. All right.
So if you play that thing I did of Bev, that might really break the run because you'd have Bev.
I
Oh.
did see that somewhere. Is there there's
Oh,
not a
there's
longer version, there's not a longer version, is there?
You don't want longer.
Well, there is. There's a 3
Who
hour.
asked you, Alan?
Asked.
Asked.
There you go. Asked.
There I go.
Who
Did I
asked
do it
you?
again? Did I do it
Yeah,
again? Did I?
You did. You did.
I'm going to have to practice saying ask.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, keep up with the noticing that I say it wrong, and then I'll. Oh, look how Gary's out there. Can I ask Gary?
Talking of wrong, here's Gary.
Yeah.
Right on cue.
Speak it wrong, and it shows up.
Oh dear. Keep banging the rocks together.
Get rid of that tab. I don't need that one. I mean Saturday morning.
Huh?
How can it be Saturday morning, Blue?
It is.
It just is.
Still Saturday morning here for
Nah,
a couple of
it
minutes.
I'm sorry. That's
No.
just the way it works.
That's
It's
you're a bit slow. It's Saturday night. It's
Hey,
11
It's almost
o'clock
Sunday morning.
here. Yeah,
It's getting close.
you're nearly a day behind.
we still have 2 minutes. Well, we still have a minute and a bit of Saturday morning left, don't we?
We do.
Don't forget, I'm a hillbilly. I'm supposed to be slow.
Well, that's what they say.
Here he is. He's changed.
Yeah, let Limey back in.
Oh, I have.
No, not limey. Really?
So, any of your peanuts come
Oh,
over here yet? No,
Limey.
I haven't seen any of them yet.
See,
They
look,
don't
he's
want.
back-
They don't
he's-
want.
he's
They
back in
don't
the
want to
wall now.
subscribe. That's what their problem is over on yours, Blue. You have to be a subscriber to
No, you don't.
speak over in my. In mine, they do.
Oh, well,
Each of yours.
sub
Yeah.
the guy.
That-
Look,
Maybe they don't want to
have to do
subscribe.
mine.
I already told them
I
they
think
need to
they're
come
sca-
over and subscribe.
But-
Come on back. Come on, guys.
Yeah, they're. I think they're scared.
They're not scared.
Well, we got either Bev or where'd that other video go? I lost a video. Where'd it go? The one with Craig with
Rose Sanchez.
Sanchez. Yeah, it's fairly lame, but I can't really find anything else to do. I mean, you got Timbo with Bev, but that's
not very
just
Yeah,
hard
but
to hear.
that's Bev.
Yeah,
That's just a
Bev.
replay of Bev coming here live Christmas Eve anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
all of us have heard that.
You mean the time when I didn't get a chance to talk to him because everyone else always does. And especially when Bev wants to pick on Farmer.
Which I can take for a while, but then oh well, do excuse me, that's the doorbell.
Oh, that might be a washing machine.
Oh, it was the actual doorbell.
Yeah, a real
other one
doorbell. So other than, where'd yours go? Oh, there it is. Bev gets straight to the point. Yeah, I'll just grab that anyway. That over there. And I've got a little bit of Craig's one, but I can't. There's not really any good bits. It's just all bad. The way the debate went was weird. Back and forward, maybe. Jump ahead a bit.
Bev had Brian Leakey on yesterday. That was pretty funny.
Oh, that would have been. That would.
Oh yeah, there's hours of that. So.
Yeah, I'll only need a couple of minutes, so if I can get.
Yeah, I think the Leakey showed up about halfway through Bev's 6-hour marathon.
Where am I?
I think flat Earth, because a lot of the conspiracy theorists in general, it is about ego, isn't it? You know, they think they know better than 99% of the world, and that's got to be how they're able to have such long streams. Like I don't think I could do a 6-hour stream. That's just it's insane. Especially flat earthers don't have anything to talk about for that long.
Or have you done live streams before?
I do live streams, yeah, all the time.
Not lately. Otherwise, they would have came up on my.
I did one.
Oh, you're not on. Are you in my Shill Your Shit in mine? Or didn't I?
Oh, I don't think I am. I had it because I was shilling them out manually. Because one of the channels I watched said to shill them out the day after to, like, you know, give it another boost. But lately I've been a bit lazy and I haven't been shilling them out.
Oh, okay.
So,
I might have
yeah,
to. I can get the bot. I don't know what the limit is for how many I can have.
I'm going to start doing it manually again anyway. So not to
You've
worry.
have you got my the special powers to be able to do that in mine, or you haven't?
I don't know actually. Let's have a look.
Where are you? You're not even showing you're online.
I'm on it. That's how I found the link to this. Now I'm just trying to find your Discord.
Where are you?
Because I jumped out of it.
Are you in the convict colonist? So you haven't got the special powers then.
You know what? Right now I'm showing as offline anyway. Let me change.
Yeah, that's why.
All right, I'll change it to online. Let's see where I pop up.
Yeah, there you are. Found you.
Yeah, convict.
Right now, your role is Oz Squad and convict and colonist, but you're not a controller, so you can't. You can still post your links to your videos in, but not Shill Your Shit.
I
you
can
only
put it in like any
fair,
other vids, can't
I? Or just Fair Suck or any other vids. Yeah, I think.
Okay, that works.
I don't know
for
if
me.
you can put it in. I don't know if you can put it in Shill Your Shit because that's.
No, it won't let me. Won't let me.
Okay.
But that's fine. I can just do it in any other vids or the Fair Suck. That's fine. Let's take these off a minute. They're annoying me.
What, Tiny Captain? You done a video 2 weeks ago? Oh, okay. What was I doing? I was doing something else. There we go. There we go. Live. All right. How do you drive these things over on YouTube now? They've changed it from live videos to. I've got a 10-hour ago stream from Bev. Is that the one with Brian, or is it a day ago? Somebody was saying that Brian Leakey came in. Was that his last stream?
Look at his channel. Be on his channel. On his Discord. I'll have a look.
Yeah, well, I've got it. I'm on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah, the last one was 10 hours ago. That dropped. That might be that one. That's the one. I'll have a quick look. See if that's it. Oh,
Before
right.
Friday.
Yeah, it's how do you tell when anyone's on it though? That's the problem. They don't have their name.
You can
Oh, I
usually
can't
go
read.
onto the Discord and see who they're bagging out when that one was on. I usually tell you who was on.
Yeah, you'd need a timestamp for it to know when it was, because you can't tell. I'll show you in here what I see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can do it this way. If I go there, do that. That's not showing. Okay. I'll do it that way then. Oh no, it only goes. Oh, that doesn't work. The only way I can show is if I do that. That means the peanuts get to see that. And then why doesn't it go to by that? Pin. There. See on the side you can see who was in the Discord at the time. But if I jump around, I can't read. So you never know who's going to be in there at what time. No, I can't read any of those names. I was in there the last stream, but Brian Leakey wasn't in there. So it might have been earlier. It had to have been earlier on. Because I wasn't over there that late. Oh, that one we'll have to leave.
If that's
I don't
yesterday,
know
he's
when.
way over there. 3.5 hours probably.
Yeah, I got one. It was 10 hours.
That looked like yesterday.
He had a video game going.
Yeah, but you're way up in the front of the stream.
Okay, so
He's
it's
not
further down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, way down there.
Oh, okay. Because I did watch a bit of this one, but I think it was further later. His name's not coming up in there, so I don't know if
he's there right now.
How it shows. That's it there.
Yeah, he's in there.
Unclamping.
It's hilarious. Yeah, I've seen pictures. Yeah, that of it straight without all that
I'll go back a bit further then.
You could interpret as curvature, but it. Yeah.
He's everywhere, all at the same time. It's like within the coding of the computer system. Asking. He's everywhere.
Hey, look how sunny it is out there.
But
you got your glasses changed.
Well, I've just been stood on the store.
He brings up
talking to the
plane route. And, I mean, I'm to this stage here.
Photochromic glasses
with
they're
maps and all
affected
this.
by
I'm
light.
talking about
So
maps of the entire world.
it's only
Like,
sunlight they do that too.
I asked him, and it kind of ties him up a little bit because hypothetically, I asked him this:
Oh no, not Brian.
if the Earth is flat, okay, let's just leave everything behind and let's just enter this little thought experiment. Hypothetical: if we use the stars to map our world, okay, or our known world, or what we think the world is, okay, and we use longitude and latitude, and we find out that it's the stars refracting. You know, we find out that it's not the ground bending, it's the light bending, and it bends not much up close or within a few hundred miles, but then it starts over long distances. It starts and it's pretty consistent, and you get 60 nautical miles per degree, but it's just apparent, and it's not the ground bending, it's light bending. How would you map that? In other words, if you're starting with a concentric place in the middle and you mapped it like with longitude, latitude, then you're going to get something just like the A map, but the distances would have to be, that have to be put in detail on the map, because you're still going to get, everything's going to be the same. Basically, everything's going to be 60 nautical miles per degree. But like I said, it's the light curve, and it's going to map exactly the same. But you'd have to just scale the distances per longitude. You know, you'd have to put that in detail. But it would map pretty much exactly the same. My point is I challenge them. How could they get a perfect flat map? Even if the ground was flat, it wouldn't work out like that. If we mapped all the shit using the stars and the sun and the moon, you know, using the heavens, if it was apparent, it'd map out the same. So basically, Google Earth would work exactly the same. It just, when you zoomed out, it wouldn't be a ball. Is the way I see it.
Well, just like, I don't know, you know, like, well, one of the main things is getting them to believe in space, isn't it? But then even, you know, they could look at blueprints of like bridges, or even go look at the bloody bridges, like, you know, Lake Pontchartrain, it's obvious curve. But if you look at the actual schematics for it, you know, it will show how they had to account for curvature.
No, yeah, but they've been shown all this.
They're not going to understand the start. And to be fair as well, they don't have the mathematical skill to be able to map with the stars, you know? That's the main problem, isn't it? Is just that they...
Which day are we talking about at the moment?
Eh?
Which day?
I couldn't hear you. What was it?
I was working at which they as in Bev's day.
Oh, like Bev's day, any flat earthers.
Yeah,
really.
I was just keeping track of.
You know, one of the, well, at least in my eyes, one of the prerequisites for becoming a flat earther is that you stopped your physics and mathematical knowledge at kindergarten, you know?
Yeah.
Because once you understand all that stuff, you're not going to believe the Earth's flat.
Well, yeah. Well, you have to first, you know, usually you got to throw away a lot of pretty basic evidence, like, you know, rockets and satellite pictures, and that, you know, pretty damning evidence.
I'm really hoping that those, you know, the space flights that they have now eventually become so common that the price goes down to where some flat earthers try. I mean, they're still going to say, like, blame it on the windows, or say that something was pumped into the into the craft,
or they're drugged or something.
There's not a chance any of them are ever going to do anything like that. They won't even do the simple tests that conclusively show it. They won't do anything like that because they know they're going to get proven wrong.
Yeah, it's the same with Antarctica, isn't it? They won't go there.
Antarctica. They could quite easily crowdfund. And even between themselves, get a few of them to take a trip down to Antarctica, and they're never
Flat Earth millionaire doesn't even have to crowdfund it. You know,
if he's a millionaire, yeah,
just take a vacation.
Yeah.
And you know they're not going to do it because it'll go, oh shit, there's no ice wall. Oh, we better not tell anyone.
And
tell
then
you
they'll
what,
get
let's
kicked
not
out
go.
of their little club.
Yeah, let's not go in the first place.
But their claim will be that holiday you take down there, they just take you to near the edge, and that they restrict on where you can go and what you can see.
Yeah.
But that's the rubbish. It's not just near the edge. You can go right into the center. You can go mountain climbing in the center of Antarctica.
People have walked across it. Mr. Beast recently did a video where they went there for so many hours or whatnot. You know, they stayed there in tents and all that. And they climbed up a mountain that hadn't been named yet. And you know, obviously the view you're going to get from up there, I think you'd be able to at least work out if it was, I don't know, a nice one. And then again, you can go on a Shisha in our community, went on a flight that went over Antarctica, you know, like just to view it basically, and then returned. And you can go on the cruise ships that circumnavigate Antarctica. you know, go around the perimeter, and it would take a lot longer if they were going around the entire ice wall.
I get a bit annoyed because they say, "Oh, it's all too expensive. You can't, whatever," but they don't do any effort. So
Yeah.
they could
It's
go and ask,
actually not.
"Oh, it's anyone?"
Yeah, it's not that expensive for the trip that takes you around it. I mean, depending on
No,
where you are
but
in the
still.
world, I think the flights to get there and all that would, you know, add up. But you know, I don't know. Last time I looked, I don't know, maybe it was like 10 or 15 grand or something, which, you know, when you think about how much they've crowdfunded for things before, that's not a lot of money.
Yeah, but even if they weren't going to do that, there are other things or other ways they could investigate. They could say, "Oh, look, so and so is going down." There's people who go down who don't give a stuff whether they're not flat earthers; they're just going down. To say, "Oh, look, can we get your video?" You get independent,
Yeah, but see, and there's video of that as well, and they don't believe it. And there's video of 24-hour sunlight down there, and they say it's all fake. That's the problem, is that, you know, they either come up with a BS excuse for it, they ignore it, they deny it, or they just straight up attack the person. That's like the 4 flat earth ways, basically. You know, so
I mean,
they deny every bit of that stuff. It's ridiculous, you know.
Well, I keep pointing out that, they argue they can't afford or the flight from San Diego to Sydney, but I just say, well, just get people to drive from Sydney to Perth. It's it's the same deal.
Well, that's the thing as well, isn't it? Because on a flat Earth map, if they did that long haul flight, obviously you're going to go the quickest way is a straight line, and so in the middle of that flight, it's going over Australia, I think it would be, and it's covering, so there's a lot of ground that you can see while you're in the flight. However, in reality, it's nothing but water, because that's the way the Great Circle route goes. So that flight in itself, even if they tried to say that, I don't know, somehow that flight works on a flat Earth, the route it takes doesn't fit with a flat Earth.
No.
And then there's the distance. Like the craft would have to go, the plane would have to go 2 to 3 times its speed, which I forget how fast it is to break the sound barrier, but I know a Boeing 747 can't do it, can it?
We currently don't have any commercial airliner that can break the sound barrier.
Was the Concorde able to break it when that was about?
And then some. It was.
Oh, really?
It flew at Mach 2.
That would have been awesome to fly on.
Concorde flew at Mach 2. It cruised at 60,000 feet at Mach 2.
Yeah, and that led to that famous photo that there was a Concorde going over the Atlantic to the States, and they had a Tornado swing wing fighter with nothing on it. And now that could keep up, but it couldn't keep up for very long. So they actually asked Concorde if they could slow down a little bit. And they took that very famous photograph of Concorde, and behind you can see the curvature of the Earth, because it's at 60,000 feet.
Yeah.
But the Tornado could only keep up with it at that speed for a few minutes because it was on full afterburn. The Tornado had to be going flat out to keep up with an airliner that's cruising.
That's insane.
Yeah, and the photo is, this is taken of Concorde at supersonic speed. The Tornado pilot actually said, "Can you slow down a little bit to about Mach 1.5, because that'll give us a few more minutes fuel for us to, get the photographs."
Nuts. Why did they stop using Concorde? I mean,
forget the accident. It just wasn't economically viable.
There was a big accident as well with it then.
Yeah, remember the one in France?
The crash, yeah.
You don't remember
I don't watch the news at all. I find it depressing.
Damn.
It wasn't the crash that killed it. It was more the cost involved for the.
If it had been economical, they would have. I mean, they grounded the fleet, such as it were, after that accident, after that crash that obviously killed everybody on board. If it was economically viable, they would have worked all that out and said, "Crack on." But that was pretty much the, excuse the pun, the final nail in the coffin. It was just too expensive to keep running.
Yeah.
To fly
ways to make the aircraft just about turn a profit.
Yeah, just.
To fly.
I mean, obviously, the faster it goes, the more fuel it burns. Did they think of maybe just maxing out at Mach 1, maybe that would have made it a bit more economical.
Well, to be honest, that's not much faster than a lot of commercial jets can do now, particularly at height, because obviously the higher you go, the lower the speed of sound is. But the whole point of Concorde was we can get you across the Atlantic in just a handful of hours rather than, a slog.
It was quicker.
It
But the company could.
Sorry, Terry.
The company couldn't keep going with 10 passengers for $10,000 a flight just to go across there to get there as quick as they can. They couldn't keep that up.
I kind of like the long flights too. It gives me a chance to drink more.
It was actually banned in a lot of American states too.
Yeah. Depending on its configuration, the most it could take was 128 passengers.
Yeah.
Right. So
I mean, if you've ever been aboard one,
every time, then maybe it would have worked out. But the fact that a lot of people just couldn't afford it, or a lot of businesses probably wouldn't pay for it. So, yeah, makes sense.
I mean, they are a cramped thing. I mean, I've been on the one at Duxford several times, and when you get inside and go to stand up, and then I'm 5'10" and I struggle to stand up in it. It's tiny.
That'd be no good for me then.
Yeah, and you've got your rows of seats. You've got two each side, so you basically got double sets of seats each side, and that's it. And you look in the cockpit and you think, oh my god, how primitive is this? There are dials everywhere because, of course, when it was designed, first
back in the 70s.
60s. It first flew in 69.
60s. Wow.
It's 60s technology. It's dials. It's none of these, just a few big screens and you get different options. That's why these planes still had engineers on board. You got pilot, co-pilot who are flying it, and then an engineer who's got.
Hey, I like dials. What the hell?
I get it, but when you actually
I miss rotary phones. I used to love dialing a number on those. But I guess all in all, like just the Concorde was just ahead of its time, really, wasn't it? Like it
just wasn't a good idea.
Yeah,
it was not a good idea. Didn't carry many passengers. It cost a fortune to operate the damn thing, and it only got you there about twice as fast as a commercial 747, which flies at 85% of the speed of sound anyway.
That's it. That's it. A lot of these modern airliners are getting pretty close to traveling at the speed of sound. They just they can't quite do it, and they're not designed to do it. But
you cut an 8-hour trip to a 3.5-hour trip. You want to pay twice as much, or 3 times as much, or 4 times as much for a ticket just to save yourself 4 hours?
That's true. I kind of hope that commercial aircraft don't ever go above the speed of sound, because then flat earthers really are going to say that it's all a conspiracy and that they are able to fly in the southern hemisphere much faster.
Yeah.
Somehow I think that's not how it's going to work.
It only had a very limited market too. It was really only good to fly from the body of Europe to the eastern coast of the U.S. So that's all it could do.
Yeah,
it was unusable over the Pacific. It didn't have the range.
Oh, right.
It just couldn't carry enough fuel.
They had to fly around the Pacific. Yeah, they couldn't do one haul. It wasn't a long haul. That's a long haul anyway.
Yeah. What was the final nail in the coffin? Was British Airways would have carried on using it, but all the maintenance was down to a company called Airbus, and
there you go.
We had no influence over Airbus. The only people who had influence over Airbus were the French government and Air France.
What's Airbus? Is that another company, or is that a
Airbus? Who make airliners?
Yeah.
Okay.
The company that built Concorde became Airbus.
Okay, so they're like they're the manufacturers, basically.
They're one of the biggest manufacturers in the world.
Like I said, I live in a bubble. I'm a hermit. I prefer being indoors. I like this sort of interaction. And, kind of like flat earthers, I learn most of my stuff online, except, I like to verify it and talk to people that actually know what they're talking about.
It was basically Airbus said, no, we're not going to certify it anymore. Because that was the problem with the Vulcan that they had, that was being used for displays.
Yeah.
They wouldn't certify it anymore.
Because that also ended up requiring Airbus to certify it, and Airbus went, "No, we don't want. We're not going to certify it anymore. So it's grounded."
Yep.
We
Still perfectly capable of flying, but
yeah, the Airbus wouldn't certify it, and unfortunately, because they were the company that the manufacturer had ended up being owned by, there's nothing you can do about it.
No,
because that's how international civil aviation bloody works. They couldn't get, and there's no other company could just turn around and say, okay, well, we'll certify it, because not allowed.
But this will give you an idea of the times. The fastest Concorde, the fastest time it crossed the Atlantic in, which was from JFK to Heathrow, was 2 hours, 52 minutes and 59 seconds. So just under 3 hours.
My God, when you've got, when you've got something being used for commercial passengers, and like you said, it had to slow down for a bloody tornado. It's mind-boggling. That's amazing.
Like I said, the tornado, and you think, oh, it's a supersonic, it's a sweep wing fighter bomber, really fast. It caught up with the Concorde, and they sort of went, shit, our fuel's disappearing. Can you slow down a bit, please? Because Concorde was designed, it's what they call super cruise. It was designed to cruise at that high speed, whereas of course a tornado, yeah, it could hit that speed with full afterburner, but your fuel's going,
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the Concorde was doing it in just under 3 hours. In 2020, a 747, because they were still using them then, flew from New York to London in 4 hours and 56 minutes. It had a bit of a tailwind.
A big tailwind,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
And same tailwind that again helps the southern hemisphere flight.
It actually reached a speed that had it between the plane and the ground, you'd call it supersonic, but because it wasn't supersonic relative to the air around it, so it didn't break the sound barrier, but it were bloody close.
Right. Damn reference frames.
I know, it's a bugger.
Well, you don't have any jet. There are no jet streams at 60,000 feet.
Oh, right.
No,
the jet streams exist in the in that region from about 30,000 up to maybe 45,000 feet.
Did you say, Farmer's Boy? Did you say that the speed of sound is different depending on altitude as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay. And that's just because of the density of the air.
Yeah, pressure.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah.
So it's sea level. It's I don't know 700. I can't remember. Was it 760 something miles an hour? Whatever. The higher you go, the lower that speed actually becomes. So that you're supersonic.
So an airliner cruising at 400 knots at sea level is doing just over half the speed of sound. An airliner cruising at the same speed at 40,000 feet is doing like 0.8 or 0.9
Mach. Yeah.
That's
and I
cool.
believe the very latest Bombardier, the 7,500, the stuff that Wolfie 6020 flies, they're going to have to be testing some of that stuff at Mach 1.05 because because they have to test it so far above its cruising speed, and because that's going to be getting up over 50,000 feet, it's going to be so close to Mach 1 that some of the testing is actually going to have to be done supersonic.
And of course now, over in the States, they're looking at developing supersonic airplanes that don't actually create the boom as they go through the sound barrier. They're trying to create quieter supersonic planes, which means if you've got something taking off in the West Coast, it can go supersonic over the States without upsetting everybody. But that's an aerodynamic thing more than anything, I think. I did see someone on a while back that they're trying to do research into quieter supersonic aircraft.
Can we squeeze in a little bit more of this, and then we may have a quiz? If
We do
that's
have a
question
quiz.
mark at the end of my sentence implying.
Forgot
No,
about
no,
those bloody quizzes.
Press
No,
play,
hang on a
Terry.
minute. You're Australian. Every sentence ends with a question, doesn't it?
No, does
I'm
it?
not sure. Does it?
Does it? I don't know what you mean. Sorry, that really is pitching holing all the Australians.
I
isn't it?
thought that was Scottish or Irish or
No,
somebody
it's definitely
like that.
it's definitely Australian that does that.
Oh no, we definitely don't end our sentences with a question.
Do we?
Do we?
I'm sure we don't.
What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Definitely inflict. We definitely inflict.
No, my inflection doesn't rise higher pitched at the end of my sentence.
Hmm.
You had to work on that one.
I don't end my sentences with a question.
Oh,
Okay,
the
we'll get a
boom.
couple of more minutes out of this video.
Yeah, go on then.
Just a thought, man.
Press play,
Free for
Terry.
all Friday.
Well, I wouldn't know because
Now.
if, for instance, the light bent, in which direction would it bend? And how would you know that? If, along with light bending, would straight lines change
Oh God.
along with that?
Not in reality, no. No. I'd say this.
So you
With the
can't have
stars,
light bending, can you really?
well, bending is a lack of, for a lack of better word, let's just say changing angles over distance. And it's hypothetical. So yeah, I mean, the criticism is fair, but it's just saying changing angles, because I would agree that it's pretty consistent. I've never really like gung ho checked it, but I have no reason to deny that the stars, like Polaris, changes roughly 60 nautical miles per degree. I have no reason to doubt that, and I know that it takes a long way for the math to miss by 1 degree. It takes about almost 1,500 miles, so it's a little over 1,400 miles before it's off by 1 full degree. So that
You do see the fallacy within that, though, right? That if you say it changes by 60 nautical miles per degree, then you go and watch just 1 degree change over a distance, and you just say that distance is 60 nautical miles.
Yeah. Who's testing this shit? But here's,
Well, no,
I don't
that's
have
all
any.
you've done.
Oh,
That's all you've done. You've
uh,
just said a 1
Right.
degree change is 60 nautical miles. Like, what are you referring the 60 nautical miles to? You're referring it to the angle, and you're referring the angle to the distance. It's circular.
It is circular.
No, it's not, Bev.
Not
But-
so. God.
It's not that hard to measure
I
distance,
could
Bev.
agree with that, or I could like counter that. So let me think for a second. What do I want to do right now? Okay, I'm gonna count. I'll counter it. Well, let me say this. So it does break. If I do the math, like with side on Muppet vision, I understand that it's and not the way we see
What
things.
do you mean
but,
Muppet vision? You mean in elevation?
it does break down, like it misses by, it doesn't just break down immediately when they, like Sean Hawkins challenge, 69 mile per degree Polaris challenge. That's horseshit. Flat soy shot him. He's explained that, and I've explained it in another way. There's multiple ways to solve that challenge, but here's the thing: as far as just a basic Muppet vision perspective, when you get about 1,500 miles away, it's you're off by a degree, and then it compiles. So that's why I say, even just within the model, arguing within the model, I could have no problem saying that refraction or whatever it might be, or even a celestial dome, whatever is changing angles over them distances. I don't see nothing crazy. It's spot on for a few hundred miles, not even a arc second off, I think, until you get past 3 degrees, which is like over 200 miles. But yeah, it's all within the model. So I can't argue with what you said, Bev. But like I said, free for all Friday. just bringing my perspective to some of these arguments, man.
It's not an argument. It's the fact that there is a measured one, and that's 1 degree for 69 miles. But they can't measure it on the water. So what they say is, well, we'll call that 60 nautical miles.
Oh, good God.
God.
Yep. Just what they say. They could have said, we'll call that 100 nautical
Oh my
miles.
God. Bev needs to move into stand-up. That's brilliant. Oh my God. Does he understand the meaning of the word nautical?
Probably not.
No.
I'm going to say, does he not understand that you could walk across the desert for 60 nautical miles, counting your paces?
Mm-hmm.
And when you've gone 18,520 paces, you're on 60 nautical miles, assuming your pace is 1 meter. Or get a.
Your pace wouldn't be 1 meter. That's a big step.
Well, it depends on
one yard.
How tall you are, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Some people have a pace.
Are you walking in the desert? You wouldn't be walking 1 meter a step. You'd be struggling.
Yeah, Bev wouldn't be doing it, would he?
No.
Okay, well, just get one of them wheels that you push it along, and every 1 meter it goes round once.
Oh
It's
yeah.
It's called a trundle wheel.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah, and once you've trundled your trundle wheel, and it's gone round 18,520 times, you've gone 60 nautical miles.
Yeah, but you've gone uphill and down dale. Does that still count?
I did say in the desert, and there's parts that say for example, the Sahara Desert, that basically have no terrain for distances that long.
Okay.
And
Norfolk. He's talking about Norfolk.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. You've been in Norfolk for too long, Alan.
Those wheels don't work, Alan. You can't measure distance. There's no distance around the wheel.
It's a ruler.
You got to listen to what you got to listen to Bill, for God's sakes. That distance is linear, straight line. Yeah, right line distance.
No, it's not. Because
there is no distance around the wheel. None. Zero. None. Nope.
But it can't be a straight line though, because it bends. The light makes it bend.
Well, it can't be any distance because you end up back where you started.
That's right. You didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. It took a
I
long
never thought of
time.
that. Bloody hell, yeah.
But you didn't make it anywhere.
You go all the way around. You didn't go anywhere.
No matter where you go, there you are.
Mm-hmm.
How about taking a stick then and flipping it end over end as you go along?
Had's the saying, the British Army standard pace is 30 inches.
Do you know, this is how Bev streams for 4 or 5 hours a night, just by this sort of process, I'm afraid.
just by going off on tangents.
Oh dear.
Oh, but what's tangent?
Yeah,
Is that a straight line?
No, but Bev's usually just talking to himself for 3 or 4 hours.
Well, flipping it end over end isn't going to work, Alan, because one's negative and one's positive, and they cancel each other out, man.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, no matter where you go, there you are. Oh, just... Wow.
We'll get a couple of more minutes, I think.
Yeah, do we have to do the desert? Can I pick somewhere that's sandy?
Or the beach.
I was thinking, we'll across the, some nice land in the middle of Oz. We could find it's a little bit less sandy.
Well, that's desert.
Oh, you use the Nullarbor.
No, southern Oz.
That's pretty flat.
Nullarbor, across the Nullarbor.
There's no trees to block you here.
The coast isn't far away.
Under the fens, that's nice and flat. Just got lots of drainage ditches in the way.
Let's go across there. That's a good spot.
Well, it's pretty flat where Alan is. He goes to have the hump down near Latham's and he gets vertigo.
Yeah. It's oxygen starvation because he's gone so high. That's what it is.
That's a good point. Nobody, that's I don't know, man. That's the main. Nobody could prove any of this stuff. Period. Especially over bodies of water. It's ridiculous. That's really where I should, instead of driving myself crazy trying to think of solutions, I need to just go really back to the simplicity that nobody's going to prove any of this shit, especially over bodies of water like that.
Well,
That's why I keep saying do across the land, like across Australia or across Africa. Yeah. Or South Africa, South America, even. Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
But the celestial nav is just basically, it has the stars just all doing a circle around Polaris. Period. They don't like it, and when I say that, but that's all it is. It's a celestial equator, and it's broken down into 4 quadrants: east and west, north and south. Like, why would they break it?
Yeah, what happened to the south, Brian?
Well, it's not east and west, north and south from the North Pole.
The stars aren't doing anything around Polaris, Brian. You twat. The stars are sitting still. We're turning. Dumbass.
Yeah, dear.
Down into 4 quadrants. Why wouldn't they just go from 0 to 180 if it's all coherent sphere?
4 quadrants, 0 to 180.
And the quadrants like that. I mean, to me, I don't know, man.
Hello.
I'm already veering off
one.
the simplicity, ain't I?
Yeah.
He forgot to mute, didn't he?
And then they talk about the like
Right,
180
I need to go
degrees,
see if one
okay?
of the neighbours
And
can
say
move their
that they
car,
do the
'cause
celestial
they park their
navigation like
cars at my path, and at the moment you ain't getting a washing machine up the path. So yeah, I'll see
Well,
what
this
I can
washing
do.
machine is very
See you
important.
also.
It is important.
There'll be a brief pause in the action while Farmer gets his washing machine delivered.
Yeah, he's got to
He's
get
trying to
his
get his washing machine up his pass.
Yeah. This is
At
very
this
important.
point, we invite our viewers
Farmers.
to stretch their legs, use the restroom, and grab a snack.
Go on mute.
Oh shit! I thought I had. Sorry. So I don't need to tell you what that conversation wasn't.
Yeah,
we all need to know about the
Yeah.
washing machine. It's very important at the moment.
It made a lot more
getting your
sense
washing machine
than
up your
Bev
path.
does.
Well, like I said, my path exits into what's supposed to be a turning bay. But because everybody around here's got 2 or 3 cars, they use it as a parking bay. And there are 2 trucks out there, and there's about that much gap at the moment. For somebody to get a washing machine through, that ain't going to bloody happen.
So you were on to the delivery guy then, were you, on the phone?
That was him just ringing me to say they're 20 minutes away. So I've got to go across the road and say, excuse me, can you move your Freelander, please?
That's the point. That's the point where I'd be slashing tires.
No, they're my neighbours.
Then
That's
they
not a
won't
good
move.
idea.
Yeah, no, that's a bit extreme. I mean, geez.
Hey,
You're
I
bad
am
bad
nothing
influence.
but
You're a bad
extreme.
influence. You are.
Above 30 degrees for their accuracy above the horizon. The stars do stall on the horizon, and it's not exact, but I've never seen them. I've seen a couple stars, a couple bright ones.
Well, we've got a spaceman out there.
What you mean, like
Yeah,
slow
he's
down?
still around.
Oh, is he still
Come
alive?
on,
Because that
drop
would
in.
just be because as they get below the horizon, the light bends them back up again, so it looks like they stay there a bit longer.
Come on, Matt. You can grace us with your presence. We'll forgive you.
Where's the Southern Cross?
Almost touched the water, but they have a little spot that they all fade out and they slow down as they go off in the distance. That's exactly what I would expect on a flat plane where they say the sun is already set. Really, it's not really there, but we're seeing it.
On a flat plane, I'd expect it to slow down gradually from a much higher point.
Perspective. So we would expect that. We would predict that, and that is what happens in reality. But as far as I was going to say, wait, I need 1 second, but I had one other good point to make.
Does Brian ever know where he's going with his rambling?
No.
I mean, as far as so in my opinion, like a star could stall on the horizon on the globe because of refraction, right? Like it could make it look like it's keeping it there longer because the light bends up. On a flat Earth, you'd expect it to slow down its movement as it gets further away.
On a flat Earth,
if it's staying
on a flat Earth, you'd never expect it to get anywhere near the horizon.
Well, and that, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But as it moves further away, it would look, well, not only would it get smaller because they think everything's local, but it would look like the movement's slowing down because of the angle.
They expect it to dim in its luminosity.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's it as well. Because it's what did Nathan Oakley say recently? There's too much atmosphere for the light to travel through, and that's why the sun eventually, you can't see it. Doesn't explain why it makes it look like it goes behind the horizon, though. But
Well, see, like the sun sets here in the west behind me. I'm on the east coast. Sun sets and it gets dark, but the people in Perth on the west coast will still see the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work?
Right. Exactly. That's the thing is and they never look at the angles, like the angles we see everything, it just doesn't work on a flat Earth, and aside from that as well, like how come not a single one of them has been able to calculate the height apparently that their local sun is at? Because that would be something very easy to do if it actually worked in reality.
Well,
some of them said,
if you use,
I'm saying 3,000K.
If you use their distances, and give them as much credit as possible, using their distances, the sun could never, ever, ever go below about 14 degrees.
Yeah,
it just can't.
Like you'd always see it.
You cannot ever
see the southern
below that.
I can see the Southern Cross. I can see the Southern Cross all night, right?
Right.
So at one point, apparently, it must be on the other side of the North Pole, but I can't see the stars on the North Pole that are actually apparently closer to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Go figure.
And what?
Yeah, how does that work?
And the sun sets at the moment. At the moment, the sun is rising and setting well south of east and west, where we are. Which, if you look if you drew out the circle, the sun should never be more than about 45 degrees off north in Australia. Should never get down to east.
Mm.
Who
have I been watching? So I'd never heard of this guy until recently. I think he covers a lot more than Flat Earth, but he's got a decent sized channel as well, like 45,000 subs, I think. And he actually mapped out Dave McKeegan. He popped up in my suggested, and he actually mapped out like how the sun would look, or how the moon should look. I think it was actually over the flat plane, and it basically looks like it goes like that, just in like a sort of weird flowery pattern. But yeah, he's done some pretty good response videos to them.
We're going to get a couple more minutes out of this, and then that'll be it.
You've been saying that for a couple of minutes, Barry. I mean,
20 minutes ago.
Just lights in the sky. How many times have you ever imagined that you'd be talking about lights in the sky? Arguing about stuff.
Is that all they're talking about?
If they ever try to pull anything like that, remember this.
You know already now, right? If you assume horizontal to be a straight line,
here we go.
All of the elevation profiles that have ever existed, all to do with elevations that all architects have ever drawn, with a horizontal being straight line. Well, that's assuming it's a globe. It's not a globe, sorry. They get offended by it now. They've told us. So everybody knows that all of these drawings and elevation profiles are with a horizontal baseline. They know that.
Yeah, that's how it's done in the real world. I think they say any project over, I think it's 250 miles, then they talk, fingers in air quote, about Earth curve. But what project's over 250 miles? I don't know of any.
Well,
and
who'd be trying to fool whoever within that? The idea that, that horizontal isn't actually a straight line, or who try and fool anybody. There's a grade of that aqueduct, a known grade to get the water from elevation back down to the town or city or wherever that it's meant to be at.
Those
Roger that.
lines.
Roger that.
Why would anybody have to lie about it?
Those lines on the elevation
Well,
profile
you know
are
why would the-
elevations, you dumbass, not horizontals. Elevations. That's why they call it an elevation profile.
Yeah, they don't seem to understand how elevation works, you know.
I don't understand how a lot of things work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or level.
It'd be another thing if they called it a horizontal profile. They don't call it that. They call it an elevation profile. Those are elevations above a datum. Those are elevations above a datum, like mean sea level.
Yeah, but Bev's a surveyor, Blue. He knows.
I honestly think that when Bev says
he's
he's done surveying, it means he stood there holding the measuring stick. That's about all I think he could wrap his head around.
He's done surveying over 30 years ago on a college course.
Ah, right.
And
That's
I'm
claim.
going to disappear because I'm going to have fun and games. All of my neighbours appear to be out this morning.
Oh, good God.
But I've just been down there with a tape measure. If they unpack the machine first, they might get it through on the trolley, sort of.
They're going to bring it through in the whole box originally. Yeah.
Well, they might not have room. We'll see when they get there. But I've just been around knocking on doors and no buggers in, and it's like, oh shit.
What are you having delivered? What are you having delivered then, farmers?
A new washing machine.
Oh,
mine finally packed up. So,
how's our patient today?
I don't know. Am I alive?
Hey, Matt.
Well,
you sound
could be.
Am I?
Am I?
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much.
You've been doing what I subscribe to you.
What's that doing? What every other person is telling me to do: drink plenty of water, take paracetamol, and
Grey Goose vodka.
Oh yeah, I saw that actually. That's actually probably the best advice I've had yet. Actually,
there you go.
Yeah, absolutely hammered, and just numb everything. Not a bad idea.
And you won't care.
You don't care. You feel it.
No, yeah, that's right.
Well,
you feel like shit anyway.
Yeah, if you take really good care of yourself, take the medicine, stay inside, stay calm, you'll get over it in about 7 days. Otherwise, it's going to take an entire week.
Do not watch any flat Earth stuff. That's not going to help you stay calm. In fact, you probably shouldn't even be on this stream. It's gonna hurt you in the long run.
You'll be right. Did the doctors prescribe any antibiotics or anything?
Yeah, I've got antibiotics. I think it might have been a virus at first, but I think the sore throat. They probably think I've got an ENT infection now. They think so. That's why I've got antibiotics.
So 72 hours.
ENT.
Ear, nose, and
throat.
Oh, in nose, throat.
Yeah.
Has it been 72 hours since the onset?
Oh, it's been longer than that. I mean, the cold symptoms started over a week ago. Just the usual sort of typical cold symptoms. But
I've got something to cheer you up, Matt.
Oh, hello, I say.
Oh my word.
Yeah, just forget about your ailments there for a minute, Matt.
Yeah, does that make things feel better?
It does a bit for a minute, yeah. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
I've no idea.
Okay.
Illness? What illness? Don't know what you're talking about. I've got a clue.
Well, we're just thinking about what we're going to do next on the stream, so we'll just have to have a think about it.
Yeah.
My
any ideas?
My brain just shut down, so I've got no idea.
No, I don't
I'm
care about
running on my basest functions.
Anybody else got any ideas? Are we looking at any flat or level or horizontal?
Bouncy.
All I'm concerned about is who's the lucky bastard that's on the right hand side. That's,
Oh dear. All right, you ready?
My hands aren't that tanned.
You're ready to go. Okay.
No, I don't think Matt was. He was waiting.
Oh dear. Okay, time for a hard quiz. That's
I
a
think Matt
hard
was
one
waiting for
today.
his. I think
Except I
Matt
know
was
this-
waiting for his temperature to rise.
I know there's one question on the quiz which you're all going to get very easily, and there's a reason
Yeah?
for that. Yeah. Anyway, we'll find out. Anyway, question 1: in a device in which this phenomenon only occurs in a narrow bandwidth, Gaussian or raised cosine apodization smooths the index modulation and suppresses side lobes.
Oh, in a
porn.
device.
Do the master planes prevent side fumbling?
Turbo encabulator. Yeah, I got it.
What phenomenon are we talking about? No? This phenomenon does not occur at the center point of a Smith chart. No? Still got no idea? Well, then you need another clue. In open circuits, the complex valued coefficient describing this phenomenon equals 1. Dildo. Who's that? No, it's not a dildo. It's not ham radio. No.
Who wrote that on there?
I haven't got the internal chatter. Oh, yes, I have. Good. Okay. Impedance mismatch in transmission lines is characterized by this phenomenon's coefficient, denoted capital gamma. What is this phenomenon? No. In Mach-Zehnder interferometers, the second beam is created when this phenomenon occurs partially. What is this phenomenon?
There you go, Mr. Otto Fresh.
Have you sent me a message, have you?
Yes.
And we're getting a few
No.
answers out in the side
Not
chats
the
that I don't know
standing
if
wave
they're right.
ratio. No, it's a much simpler answer than that. Optical
Lie
fibers
me,
rely.
don't. Sorry.
Optical fibers rely on a type of this phenomenon that occurs above an angle equal to the arc sine of the ratio of indices of refraction. What is the phenomenon? That should give it away, kind of. Not transmission.
Don't send them to me, yous guys. The answers.
Oh, who are we sending them to?
Not diffraction patterns. No.
It's all to do with reflection or something, isn't it? I know that.
When this phenomenon is specular, its angle equals the angle of incidence.
You have to go through the
What
clues
is it?
again to see.
It's not total internal refraction. Where's
So
Wally?
bandwidth. So bandwidth is a clue.
Name this phenomenon in which a wave bounces off a surface.
Well, that should give it. That should give it away.
That should give it away. Yeah.
Yeah, that should give it away. That one.
I spelled it in my last message to you, Paul, because I left the F out.
Am I sending them to Otto?
Yeah,
You
Otto,
are sending
yeah.
them to Otto.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, then I just.
But if you're right, send them to me.
All right.
We've got
sent you a
some
guess, Otto.
some good answers in the internal chat. Alan, Timbo, Big Blue have all got it right. Alan,
Did I not?
And Triggered Limey, you've all got it right. It is
Yeehaw!
indeed reflection is the correct answer.
I got it as well. Yay.
Yeah, and I also happen to know that in the case of the short circuit, it's -1.
Yeah.
Because I wrote a whole propagation modeling software based on firing signals up unit lengths of transmission line.
Nice.
There you go. All righty.
I may or may
Next-
not have Googled it.
That doesn't matter. You got the answer. That's all that matters. If your Google foo is good, use it.
Mm.
Question 2. Each sender performs this operation on its transmission and a spreading signal in a CDMA for wireless communication. What is this operation? This operation is performed on the bit shifted off and the tap bit in linear feedback shift registers, which are used to compute cyclic redundancy checks. What is this operation?
All right, that's my guess.
Let me go to
How'd Limey go for the answer?
Not a phone call, no.
Okay.
What does CDMA stand for again?
That much I can tell you. But
You'd have to you have to Google that, Limey.
Marvin Minsky and Seymour Papert proved that this operation cannot be classified by single layer perceptron.
I suspect
What
Alan's
is
going to get this
operation.
If Alan doesn't get this, then nobody will.
Not
You got a
parity
naked.
checking. This
You got a
operation
naked
corresponds to addition in GF2.
You get a naked person over in your chat, Blue.
Okay, performing this operation, 2 input bits gives the sum bit of a half adder. What is this operation? This is for the computer nerds out there.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Oh, computers.
Sounds like it.
All right, then my guess might be wrong.
Who's the computer
computers.
nerds out there? Is Farmer's not around at the moment, is he? Okay, I'll have to let.
No.
How about
Three.
on there, Paul?
What's that? Let me go. For some reason, my internal chat's not scrolling. So,
Oh, okay.
Alan Evans has the correct answer. Well done, Alan.
Quick, Alan, message me.
Yeah.
We have things to discuss.
3 invocations of this logical operation can swap 2 variables without any temporary variables in a namesake trick. What is this operation? And Dora has it correct out there.
What?
With
I was
the
gonna say-
XOR operation. Yeah.
XOR? I've never
XOR,
ever heard of
yeah.
it, Dora. Never
Yeah,
ever.
no idea.
Yeah, it's XOR.
C++ and many other
XOR.
languages represent this logical operation with a caret, while in Boolean algebra it is denoted with a circled plus sign. Name this logical operation that is true only when its 2 inputs are different. And there's a diagram for it. It is XOR.
Paul,
You know,
we've got
Yeah.
answers coming up over in Blue's chat, so I'm over there looking.
Okay. Oh, good idea.
Where's Timbo's one? I've got to check to see what's going on over there now.
Wally got it right.
I know
too.
there's no one
live as well.
There's only one person in
Yeah.
mine. There's only one person.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as someone in the actual chat gets it right, I'm just not even gonna, guess. I mean, I'm not looking at the chat, but at that point, I'm just gonna say I've got it wrong.
Okay. All right. Question 3.
I got it wrong the other week in Blue's Discord server. I accidentally mixed up NAND and XOR. So yeah, it's been in my head just lately.
Right.
Wally do to Otto.
Question 3.
Yeah.
Devices that perform this process are stable to the right of the surge line on namesake maps, in which mass flow is plotted on the x-axis. What is this process? Another quick clue. This process is performed continuously in devices built with many alternating stator and rotor airfoils. What is this process?
Ah.
All right, there's my guess.
Okay. What's Limey guessed? Let's have a look. Not anti-surge, no. In one class of devices, saturated R134A or R22 is the input to a component that performs this process. What is this process?
Swelling of rubber. I had to Google R134A and R22 and it's confused me more.
Big Blue's got it correct.
Is Michael sending you, Paul?
Oh, look, I've got two quick clues up. Jet engines perform this process immediately before combustion, and thus this process occurs immediately prior to isobaric heating in the Brayton cycle.
All right, I've sent you another possibly wrong answer.
Okay, let's have a look at what your possibly wrong answer is.
Yeah, if it ain't jet engine, it's got to be that then.
Not refrigeration. Refrigeration uses this process, Limey, but that's not the.
So I was warm too because I used air conditioning. I said air conditioning.
Alan's got it correct. Meshing?
What I said?
No, not meshing.
No, okay. Not meshing. Okay.
A factor name for this process is equal to the quotient of the two sides of the ideal gas law. What are the two sides of the ideal gas law? Well, one would be PV and the other would be nRT. A gas increases in temperature when undergoing this process adiabatically, which is demonstrated by performing this process to ignite flash cotton in a syringe. Name this process that reduces the volume of a gas.
I'm trying another one.
Okay, I've got a guess. Where's it gone?
Yeah, so there's only one thing that can reduce the volume of a gas.
How did I do, Otto?
Wally, you're sending to everyone, by the way, giving the clue away.
Yeah, that's all right.
Did Wally get it right?
Wally's got it correct then, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Not gas ignition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if Wally got it right, I'm gonna say I got it wrong because I'm
putting the answers on the screen.
There's your visual clue.
It's got it.
Relative density disequilibrium.
No, what about
the answer is gas compression.
I was just about to write that.
Yeah.
No, but that's wrong, Terry. It's gas compression, not compression. No,
Wally,
I could put gas. Yeah, well, there you are, gas.
Wally, you should send it to me privately and then to Otto.
Okay.
I can't write very neat. That's my problem on this.
Question 4 is for the mathematicians out there.
Why do I clear it? There we go.
For the mathematicians out there, for an analytic function f, this function applied to the modulus of f at the origin is related to zeros of f via Jensen's formula. What is this function? We need Clive for this clue.
I don't know. Where is Clive?
Yeah.
He's over on Blues channel.
Clive, you over on Blues?
Yeah, he's
You
over
have
on
to watch
I
Blues
see
for the answer then.
I see Spate Mats over there.
Well, tell me what Clive says, because I haven't got Blues chat up.
Okay.
The derivative of this function of f is integrated along a close contour on the left-hand side of the argument principle. What is this function?
I'll tell you what Clive says. I'll write it.
What did Clive say?
Yeah, Clive said exponential.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Not exponentials. No.
Oh, it's wrong anyway, Terry.
No.
See, Clive's not always right. See.
Okay.
That one.
Because this function cannot be defined uniquely on the complex plane, one typically defines it by making a branch cut along the negative real axis, in which case this function of z equals the function of its modulus plus I times its argument theta.
I've sent a guess, Otto.
What is this function?
Was my Google foo good?
Let's
That's
have a
what I'm
look,
checking.
Timbo.
Google
Let's have a
foo.
look, Timbo. Not the harmonic function.
Yeah,
I think
the
somebody
convex
found. I think
function.
somebody
And
found.
it's not 42, Timbo.
I
No,
think somebody found
That's right.
it.
It's not the one underneath. Yeah.
It's
Just
not
be careful, you guys.
exponential.
All right, another guess, Otto.
Asymptotically, n divided by this function of n approximates the number of primes less than or equal to n. What is this function?
I've sent
And
another
you
guess.
guys be careful if
Send
you
another?
find out how to draw
Not the
it on the
Mobius
screen.
transformation. No. Okay.
I'm
The
looking
Taylor
at the
series of this-
equation and I've got no idea. It's ridiculous.
The Taylor series of this function is the alternating sum of 1 over n times x minus 1 to the n, which when shifted up by 1 gives the Mercator series. What is this function?
Clive is now saying log or logarithm.
Well, Clive would be... I'll give you the next clue. The derivative of this function is 1 over x. That should give it away to anyone who's done high school maths.
It's been about 25
Big
years.
Blue's
for me,
got it
so
right.
And
I
this
can
is
tell
my
you that
last
Clive
guess.
has it. Clive has it right as well.
All right, how do I do, Otto? I'm going to assume wrong.
Not an analytic function. Alan's right. Clive's right. Blue's right. It is the log function. Name this inverse of the exponential function. It is the logarithmic function. Logarithms. Yeah. Well done.
I knew that.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, I mean, I didn't.
Okay. Question 5. A pioneering invention in this initiative involved a wooden T-bar strung together by a spring-loaded brass wire. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, it does.
All right, first guess.
Not the Cavendish experiment. Not the Cavendish experiment. No. Buzz Aldrin announces marriage to longtime love in 93rd birthday. No. It's not related to weapons, but facilities for this initiative were built on Gorodomlia Island, thanks to Operation Ossoviakin. I can't say that properly.
All right, another guess.
Okay, what are you guessing, Limey? Not spinning Jenny. No.
I'm just going to put words together now.
A mural depicting a shirtless man with his arms spread out horizontally greets visitors to this initiative's most prominent facility, which also contains a memorial for the Medellin disaster.
All right, third guess.
Yeah, I've just sent you a guess as well, Paul.
I'll accept that, Alan. I'll say that's correct. Limey, curving Bev, no. Oh dear. Okay. After heading this initiative's precursor, Sergei Korolev, now that should ring a bell, scouted for his country's version of Operation Paperclip. What is this initiative?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know now. I should have known to begin with.
Okay, I'm looking forward to your answer, Matt. What is it?
I've sent another one as well.
Not the CIA, Limey. No, I'm afraid not. No.
SETI. I'm guessing it's not SETI.
It's
I'm
not
reading.
SETI, no.
I'm reading a lot of history right now.
Not getting Nazi rocket scientists.
No.
Okay.
Alexei Leonov was one of the 20 people to train others for this initiative.
20 people trained others. Oh, okay. Well, then.
Oh dear. Donald B. Giles reprogrammed the Iliac 1 computer to monitor the intermittent beeping noise produced by one of this initiative's creations in
All right,
1957.
ignore my second to last answer, but how's my current answer? Might be too obvious.
Not Morse code, not missiles, not recruiting the Red Army.
Recruiting the Red Army? What?
Oh, come on.
I'm just like copy pasting stuff. I thought I'd do
Down to the last clue. Wow. Name this program that launched the Vostok and Sputnik probes.
Oh, for Christ's sake. It's on the right tip of my tongue. I know exactly what it is, but I can't think what it is.
Hang on. Wait, no, this will probably be wrong as well, but all right, that's my final answer.
Operation Paperclip. No.
It was the
that was the American version.
It was the one. It was the earliest Soviet rocket. I can't think what it's called. My mind's gone blank.
Alsos?
No.
I'm just picking out words.
Basically the first Soviet rockets to get humans into space.
The simple answer was the Soviet space program.
Oh, was it? Oh, right, okay. Simple as that.
Son of a
There you
bitch.
go.
All right, I've gone down from 25% to 20%. I hate you all.
Okay. How's your music history now? Chris Tomlin recorded a version of this song with a bridge that begins, "My chains are gone." What is this song?
Okay. All right, there's my guess, and I'm going to make a coffee in a second.
You are correct, Triggered Limey. You are the first one, numero uno.
I had one in there. I don't know if that's correct though.
What did you have, Timbo? Let's have a look. Timbo Turtle, you got it right too, but second to Triggered Limey. According to the last verse of this song, the earth shall soon dissolve like snow, the sun forbear to shine.
No, it's not Fleetwood Mac.
It's not Fleetwood Mac, no.
I could sing it for you, Terry.
Yeah, Matt's got it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The opening lyrics of this song are quoted in the pre-chorus of Broken Vessels by Hillsong.
Oh, Hillsong.
I once was blind, but now I see.
They used to be good. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. This is the most famous song included in a collection named for the town of Olney, England, which its author wrote with the help of poet William Cowper. Peanuts haven't got it yet. This song was written 25 years after its author survived a violent storm off the coast of Ireland while working on a slave ship. Not Django Unchained. That's the song. You're right.
That's an awesome guess.
Most people only know the first and second verse of it. I don't know the rest of it.
Yes, and finally we have an answer out in the Peanuts. That is correct. Well done, Hads. We're getting the correct answer. It is Amazing Grace. Yeah. This song's speaker claims that the title concept both relieved his fears and taught his heart to fear. and describes himself as a wretch who once was lost but now is found. That should have given it away. Name this Christian hymn by John Newton, which remarks, "How sweet the sound of the title concept. It is Amazing Grace." Yeah.
Speed.
No singing. No singing.
Oh.
It's just me that's
All right.
I was only Alan's allowed. I'm
Question-
not allowed to sing. Okay.
Question 7. A seminal paper on this process introduced Larson's laws, the second of which states that it occurs in regions in virial equilibrium. What is this process?
How was that?
Recently, theories of this process have taken into account supersonic turbulence, which may explain why it occurs in regions with filamentary structure. Now, I have to say, Matt, this is your kind of question.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
Astrophysical. Yeah.
Well, don't forget, it's that astronomy is not really my thing.
Okay. The magnetically supercritical conditions required for this process are achieved when ambipolar diffusion increases the mass to flux ratio. What is this process? It's not marmalade production. Oh dear. No. Okay. The most used tracer of this process is the ground state rotational transition of carbon monoxide.
Maybe not then, Paul.
Okay, let's have a look what Alan's written. No, not auroras. But Timbo Turtle has it correct. Your Google foo is good, is it, Timbo?
Yeah, it is on that one.
Yeah.
Checking my Google foo as well,
That's
please,
good.
Otto.
Yeah. The
How's
rate
my
of this
Google
process
foo?
is related to gas surface density by the empirical Kennicutt-Schmidt law.
I've sent an answer, Otto.
I know,
Okay.
I know what it's related to, but I don't know what the
That
answer
is
is.
correct. That is correct, Triggered Limey.
Oh,
your Google foo is good too. At the end of this process, hydrostatic equilibrium takes hold and evolution along the Havashi track begins. Not combustion, not time travel via DeLorean.
Yeah.
Triggered Limey's got it right. This process mostly occurs in giant molecular clouds.
Ah, there you go. That's what I was thinking of. Giant molecular clouds, strange things.
This process begins when gas in the ISM undergoes gravitational collapse. What's the ISM? No. Name this process that creates objects that fuse hydrogen.
Oh yeah, that's that. Yeah, that is.
That should
definitely
give
the
it
right
away.
answer. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Judy Bassett has correct now. With star formation is the correct answer.
Yeah, TT guy
Yes.
got it over in blues as well.
I'm gonna get somebody into trouble. Actually, Timbo gave me the right answer, but as soon as when he came up with about fuse of hydrogen, it kind of like yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I think you got
Formation
it
of
anyway.
stars.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one for you. The change in this quantity is related to the average virtual temperature by the hypsometric equation. I can just hear people typing in hypsometric equation.
Trying to do this one without Google.
The LFC is the value for this quantity for which an air parcel experiences positive buoyancy. What is this quantity? Okay, the derivative of pressure with respect to this quantity equals negative density times gravitational acceleration for an atmosphere in hydrostatic equilibrium. What is this quantity?
That's not what I thought it was then.
Not Timbo, not lift.
No, it's not. No, it's not that.
All right, I've sent a guess.
In inversion layers, the negative of the derivative of temperature with respect to this quantity changes sign. The change in temperature as this quantity changes is the lapse rate. What is it? What is this quantity?
There you go, Paul.
Yeah, I'll accept that, Alan. It's not the word I was looking for, but that'll do.
Yes, but I can't.
I know what you mean.
I can't spell the other word very easily.
You can't
It's got
spell
too
the
many
one
letters.
starting with A.
I can't spell the one starting with A. It's got too many letters for typing on my
With
phone.
A?
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
definitely wrong then.
Aircraft measure this quantity by assuming that it is proportional to the logarithm of the atmospheric pressure measured by a barometer. What is this quantity?
We've got half our peanuts over in Blue's bloody chat answering questions instead of being over in here answering them.
Well, I'm not looking at Blues, so you'll
I
have to tell me
know.
what their answers are.
Is it that by any chance?
Matt has it correct.
It's
yes.
only because he says, "Oh, you can't put the word that starts with A."
Yeah, and Hads has got it correct, and so has Tiny Captain.
Yeah,
Well,
an
Is
aircraft
the one I
measurement.
sent the one that you will accept, even though it doesn't start with A?
Yeah.
Well, put two and two together,
I
you're
had
gonna get
something
4 for sure.
You would have got it by this one. The death zone
Blue should have got
is at a high value for this quantity because oxygen levels are too low to support human life. Name this quantity that is the distance of an object above the Earth's surface.
Oh, well, if you can't get it then, well then.
If you can't get it from that, you're really a flat
Yeah.
earther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I must be a flat earther then.
But according to chemo, apparently, altitudes above Everest, it's quite possible to breathe. It's no problem at all. It's fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
without oxygen. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a flat earther then.
Well, there's the same percentage of oxygen there. It's just that the actual quantity is not much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This is the one that you should get easily. This was the most famous commercial product to make use of the anti-flash white pigment. What is this product? I'm expecting an answer within the first 3 clues of this one, folks.
There's my first
Come
guess.
on.
There's my first.
Not
the one in green,
paper,
Yes.
not a camera, no.
There's my second guess.
Oh,
There's my second guess.
Dietrich Kickerman created a unique combination of ogival and slender delta designs for this product.
There you
What
go.
is this? That's the one, Alan.
There's my next 2 guesses.
Not toothpaste, not washing powder,
Ah.
not Tide detergent. No. This product unusually lacks an APU, necessitating the use of a start cart before its operation. What is it? Of course, you can imagine what I was thinking given the discussion earlier, right? Right, Alan?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Oh, is it?
That's the one, Timbo.
Yeah.
All right, there's my next guess.
Because
What's Limey got? Not paint, Limey, no.
All right, let's Google anti-flash
Tess.
white pigment.
Tess, such a Tests such as Operation Bongo 2 in Oklahoma City led to this product being banned in many parts of the United States, limiting its financial viability. What is it?
I didn't know about that one. Interesting.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be one of the 3 military products, would it?
I've given you an answer. I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is the right answer, but I've given you an answer.
I've just given you an answer, and I've missed most of this.
Let's see. Farmer's Boy is correct. Matt, you're not quite correct.
Not quite correct. Oh, okay.
No, the Soviet counterpart to this product, the Tupolev Tu-144, crashed in Paris in 1973.
That gives it away. And Alan, if you don't get it off that, I'm coming round yours to slap.
Well, Alan got it. Alan's already got it.
I was going to say, thank God for that. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
I almost got it off the anti-flash white, but
if not that, then the second clue. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. There's my other guess.
Supersonic flight. Well, kind of, but that's not really specific enough, Limey. The British and French firms BAC and Aerospatiale collaborated on the design of this vehicle. That should give it away.
Oh yeah, I know the answer now. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the answer?
I'll tell you right now.
Somebody's writing it.
Hey.
That's the one.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah. There you
go. Yeah. This commercial airplane, which halted service in 2003, was able to fly between New York and London in around 3 hours.
Yeah, that would have given it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, this only Western commercial supersonic jet. And if you needed a picture, it was indeed the Concorde.
The
finally got it with that second to last clue.
The Tupolev 144 was nicknamed Concordsky.
Yeah,
Concorde,
because it was basically the Russian copy of the Concorde.
To be honest, Paul, I thought anti-flash white had a lot of used white titanium pigment, which is why I went for paper for my first answer.
Yeah,
because they use a
so
lot
you can
of
imagine,
titanium
like,
pigment from paper.
we're having a nearly 1 hour discussion on the Concorde, and I'm thinking, that's one of the questions in my quiz.
Oh, you had a conversation about the Concorde earlier, did you?
Yeah.
Well, from that conversation, you guys should have realised I know nothing about the Concorde, so I wasn't going to get it.
And they're still guessing. Look, they're still guessing out in the peanut gallery. Fighter plane and U2. Has anybody seen a U2 flying?
Yeah.
They used to fly over where I grew up semi-regularly. And you'd look up and go, oh, it's a U2. And you'd look up 5 minutes later and go, oh, it's still the U2.
And it's
very fast.
And it's very, very black.
Very, very, very. It's blacker than black. Yeah.
Yeah. Now V bombers may be, because they were anti-flash white. They were the original anti-flash white.
That's right.
And the TSR-2.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But not much else was painted in anti-flash white.
And your last question. Fuad Ibn Abbas illustrates the futility of this action by narrating tales about a weaver and a fortunate rope maker in the story The Merchant and the Alchemist's Gate. What is this action?
No, you're wrong. That's the wrong clue. I'm giving you.
That's the wrong clue. Is it?
Oh, not again. Oh, he keeps doing that. Oh.
I'll give you another better clue then. A 130-year-old man, nicknamed for performing this action, reveals his fraud to a reporter in the story The Toynbee Convector. What is this action?
That's not Polly Toynbee. Oh,
After performing this action, the protagonist of another story learns that Deutscher, not Keith, has won the election and bears Travis's And
there's my
here's
guess.
Travis's rifle make the title noise. What is this action? That's correct, Triggered Limey. That's correct, Timbo Turtle.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Not
The second
telling
one,
the
not the
future, Judy. Close, but no cigar, Judy. While doing this action to go on a safari, Eccles accidentally kills a butterfly in Ray Bradbury's story, A Sound of Thunder.
Is that the same
What
Eccles that?
is
Oh
this
no, I'm
action?
falling down the stairs.
It led to the making a different movie.
Falling in the water.
I haven't read that particular Ray Bradbury story. I don't think I've read a lot of them. I don't think I've read that one.
I think the Peanuts have got it now, but we'll give them a few more clues
Oh.
anyway. After the unnamed protagonist of an 1895 book performs this action, he saves Weena and Eloy from ravenous Morlocks.
Yes, that gives it away.
What is this action? They
As soon
got
as
it
you
right
mention
now.
Morlocks, that's the right question.
That is
That is.
exactly. Name this action undertaken by a Victorian scientist using a machine in an H.G. Wells novella.
Yes, it wasn't a coffee machine.
It wasn't the coffee machine.
That'd have been pretty cool. How'd you time travel? Coffee machine.
Yeah.
I'll just give it away.
Yeah.
Well, it does say
was
time
traveling.
travel. Look,
Yeah.
it says time, and it's a TARDIS.
Time travel or time traveling was the correct answer.
Well,
There you go.
that was a good quiz, except I missed most of it.
There you go. Well, that's why it was a good quiz, wasn't it?
Yeah. I now have a washing machine, and I now have a very wet kitchen floor that's got nothing to do with the washing machine.
Oh.
He stepped back to take a photo, and he stood on the tray that holds the cat food, and more importantly, the cat's water.
Oh.
That's now all over the kitchen floor. And I said, "Don't worry, mate. You're not the first person to do that."
How many people do you know but don't look where their feet go when they walk?
Him. Particularly when they're taking a step
dear.
back.
Let me find the stop sharing button. There you go. That was a quiz for today. There you go.
Well, thank you, Paul.
Very nice, Paul.
I liked that one.
I like the Concorde question.
Good.
I don't know what the others were like.
No.
There were quite a few that were.
I was thinking everyone should have got the Concorde one straight away because we talked about it for nearly an hour.
Oh, good point,
Yeah.
Tiny Captain. Yes, there is a movie about a time
the third
traveling
one, I think.
jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I just looked at that and thought, no, thank you.
No.
Uh,
It's always a good trivia question what the name of the protagonist in the time machine is.
Jeff.
No,
Dave,
no.
obviously.
Let me put it this way: no matter what name you give me, you'll never get it.
Did they never name him?
No, he didn't have a name.
Oh, it's a stupid question, isn't it?
That's why it's a trivia question. You know?
Well, if you can't, you question well, what's the name? If there's no name, it's a trick question. You can't. There's no answer.
Yeah,
to
trick questions. You've got to put trick questions in trivia quizzes.
it.
Planawalk is my favourite New Zealander.
No, it's not.
Is he?
really?
See? It's
No,
not
it's not.
mine.
He's no. He's not.
Oh, I mean, come on, he's got to be better than some other New Zealanders, hasn't he?
Well, a certain New
Yeah, but he's
Zealander
not a
resigned as
favourite.
prime minister not so long ago, didn't she? Or going to
Yes,
resign
she
anyway.
did.
She
Yeah.
is all right.
She
She is something.
Yeah, she's quitting. She wants to be a mummy.
I think Bilbo is my favourite.
Yeah. I mean, how do we feel about that Mr. Harris guy? That New Zealander.
Lindsay.
Lindsay. No, not him. And as I said, Bilbo's my favourite New Zealander.
Hello.
Who?
Bilbo
You said-
Baggins.
yeah, oh, for a minute, I thought you said something else. I wouldn't say what.
Jazzaconda from Gems.
Oh,
The only
the drunken helicopter pilot.
Yeah, the drunken helicopter pilot. Yeah.
Oh, just take your seats. We'll be there in a minute. Yeah. What's the matter, stupid cat? she still hadn't twigged it. She's got the run of the house. No, you haven't, have you?
She's probably come to ask you what that strange thing is that you've got in your kitchen. It's just arrived there. Why does it smell different than the rest of the house?
Why is the floor so bloody wet?
It was the floor so bloody wet.
Where's my water all over the floor?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind, but I did top the water bowl up this morning because now it's all over the floor. I just slung some tea towels down and thought, fuck it, I'll take care of that after the show. But they had to manhandle it around because on one of their previous deliveries this morning, they left their trolley behind, apparently.
On the spooky bed, hey, Terry is my favourite New Zealand. Oh, Terry, you
What?
Are you? Oh.
Spooky?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how to insult.
You want to
how to
lose
insult
your
somebody.
spanner?
Yeah. Blimey. That's like me saying, hey, Matt, you're my favourite Welshman.
Oh, no.
It's fighting talk, isn't it?
Don't say that. Well, I mean, well, you could say you could say that one of my favourite Frenchmen. Oh, that'd be even worse.
Oh, imagine waking up and realising you're French.
Oh God, don't do no.
No, no, please.
Merde.
Parlez-vous français, mademoiselle?
Je suis une rock star. What?
Ferme la bouche.
I mean, if you were really lucky, you'd realise that you were a Frenchman, but you were in Normandy, so that's okay. You're Norman, not French.
Yeah.
That's where my ancestors came from.
That would be confusing.
That's why I'm descended from Vikings.
Yeah, I
Could be worse.
mean, I've met some Normans who are actually like that. They don't want to be French, so they are definitely Norman.
I've always been tempted to do one of those DNA tests to say where your relatives come from.
I've lost the link. There was a chap in Australia who researched, my surname, the family, and it's weird to look on a website and to see me and my brother, then my parents, then our grandparents, and follow it back several hundred years. And this is from a guy in Australia, and I've lost the bloody link and I can't find his website. But he traced our family came over into England with the Normans in 1066, and of course the Normans are the Norsemen, which are Vikings. Boom. And he'd done all that. But it's weird to look on an Australian guy's website and see you and your brother and your sister and our parents and so on and so forth. And think, shit.
Well, I suppose we're all related to Normans in some capacity or another, I guess. Probably.
Well, you're telling me that Boy is a common Norman surname?
Oh yeah, very, yeah.
Wasn't it the Normans in their infinite wisdom that decided to build a cathedral on a marsh? That was clever. Winchester Cathedral.
What, you mean Ely Cathedral?
No, Winchester.
We live in a bloody swamp. We need all the bloody land we can bloody get.
Yeah. We'll just put cathedral here. It'd be fine. Don't worry about it.
At least Ely is built on an island. Well, it was an island, and as you approach the area, you can see that it was clearly an island because it's so bloody flat all the way around it.
Winchester's not built. Winchester's not on a fog.
Yeah, well, no, originally, yeah, it was. There was a lot of markers.
I thought that was Salisbury Cathedral that was built on the edge of the river.
Winchester Cathedral basically is it was sinking, and they had to do a lot of in the early 20th century. They had to do a lot of work to stop it from sinking, or late 19th century, early 20th century.
By building it somewhere else, it wasn't quite so sinky.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't move it. They just did a lot of clever engineering of the time and stopped it from sinking. But if you go into the crypts or whatever, or the crypts don't exist anymore, it's all underwater. Look it up. I lived next door to it at one point. Well, I've worked next door to it.
Which one's this? Winchester?
Winchester Cathedral, yeah.
I've only visited it once, and I got the feeling that it wasn't that low down. But
yeah, pre-Norman times, it was there was a lot of marsh in that area, or at least the area around where Cathedral is, anyway, and probably the hotel where I used to work.
William Walker the diver who saved Winchester Cathedral.
That's it. There you go.
And there's a photo of this guy in the old traditional big brass, and all the pipes and everything. Yeah.
He went in and put a whole load of structures under there to stop
Carried out repairs on the foundations of the cathedral to stop it from sinking into the ground. He had to descend into the murky water of 235 pits, each about 20 feet deep, to dig out rotten foundations and shore up the walls with concrete.
What job?
Bloody hell.
Yeah. See?
Got
Normans and their
got a
infinite
bust
wisdom.
in the cathedral.
Wow.
Got a bronze bust in the cathedral out of it. So
right. The Normans had constructed the entire cathedral on a floating raft consisting of a 15-inch thick layer of beech trees laid diagonally one on top of the other. And that's what was eventually rotting out and giving way.
That's kind of how they built the A47 Acle Strait from Acle to Yarmouth.
Yeah.
Although, of course, they didn't use slave labour, they used French POWs.
Yeah, which is not the same thing at all.
Of course not.
But that's how a lot of houses are built out in the fens. They're built on a concrete platform that acts as a raft. And as the fens are constantly draining, your house just drops down with the land.
Yeah, or floats back up again.
Or floats back up again, yeah, depending. But yeah, that's the theory, because you can't just lay proper foundations because there's not enough dirt there in the first place.
And Timbo are like this one. They built another road down onto the same marsh that the A47's on, and they didn't float it on a raft. And within 15 years, they had to literally dig it all up and rebuild it again because it got so many humps and bumps in it that
support the material well enough.
It got interesting if you tried to drive faster than 70 miles an hour along it.
Yeah.
I've floated a couple of roads, a couple of jobs where we put roads that float. Technically float, the material underneath is moist, so we put in appropriate material and have the road actually sit on the mushy soil. But not highways, tend not to do it with highways. So I see that Speaking About Hair is no longer Terry's favourite media letter.
Just saying, Stu, that most castles in Britain, or at least the British Isles, are Norman because they built a lot of them. And I've just looked up. Apparently, they built over 500 Bailey castles in England, just in England alone.
Wasn't that the original Tower of London? Wasn't that Norman?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Probably was.
Yeah. Motte and Bailey castles. They just threw them up all over the place.
Yeah.
Although the closest castle to me is Roman. In fact, the two closest castles to me are Roman.
I didn't know Romans built castles.
Well, I mean, you could argue that they're not castles, but I suppose they are. You know, you can't say they're not either. You know,
Bradwell Castle is definitely a castle. It's got huge, great bloody walls.
Well, I think the Romans probably fortified existing castles anyway, didn't they?
No,
No, castles were after the Romans.
Were they? Oh no, I suppose they would be. Yeah, they would be. Yeah, of course. Because
the Romans built the castle down there. The Roman walls are like 30 feet high, nearly 40 feet high in spots, and it pretty much still goes around the entire enclosure. And let's just say, Miss Boudica and her colleagues would have looked at that and gone, "Oh feck."
Oh, Wally dropped.
Ah, yes, the Tower of London, the White Tower, is Norman. That was one of the first things that he threw up after the success at the Battle of Hastings, because he wanted to sort of stamp his authority in the capital city.
Thanks for putting me right, Terry. Of course, the Normans came after the Romans, didn't they? Because they managed to do what the Normans did, what the Romans couldn't do: conquer the north.
Yeah,
the Romans couldn't do it. That's why they built a wall.
There was only several 700 or 800 years between them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Normans owned, well, basically owned most of the eastern half of Great Britain at one time.
Wait, sorry, who did?
The Normans.
Well, I suppose they did. Yeah.
The Normans even went and took half of bloody Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Wales.
Yeah. Right. We'll have the lot. Yeah. Well. Yeah. That. Yeah. That looks nice. Yeah. We'll yeah.
Actually, from what I remember, the only bit that the Normans didn't get was Scotland.
Well, I think they had the right idea, because all they did was they bred themselves into the rest of the Britain.
Well, that's where they landed, was in Scotland. They landed in Scotland more first than they did England.
No.
Initially,
that's the first bit they took over.
Are we still talking the Norman Conquest of 1066?
Yeah.
The famous Battle of not Scotland.
Yeah. Yeah. Hastings, I don't think, is in Scotland.
Hastings, that's down south, isn't it?
Down south, yeah.
Because they come across the channel from Normandy.
And I don't think any of the Vikings ever really settled in Scotland too much. The Picts were just too much of a pain in the ass. Again, they settled more in Ireland, I think, than they did in Scotland, didn't they?
Well, I mean, they did eventually. Like I said, I think it's more to do with kind of breeding themselves. They kind of bred themselves into the Scottish, and into Scots, I think, a bit, really.
What, the Vikings?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Earlier, a couple of 100 years earlier.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I was mixed up with the Vikings and the Normans, sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's an easy mistake to make, because, of course, the Normans, the name Norman comes from Norsemen, and that's where the Vikings settled in northern France. That's why it became known as Normandy, because that's where the Vikings settled.
Okay.
Normans is a contraction of Norsemen. And that's why they established their first communities in France. Pretty much was the northern part that we now call Normandy.
Yeah, yes, but there was I mean, we most certainly were in the Danelaw, weren't we, farmers?
Yes, definitely. East Anglia was Danelaw, and of course the Angles.
Yeah, and the Saxons.
Yeah, hence. That's where East Anglia comes from, the East Angles. Oh yeah, basically, Britain as we know it now was invaded and settled by just about anybody with a vested interest in the status quo.
You said Angles, I can almost imagine Bev, his ears pricking up. Who said Angles? Who said Bangles?
Oh, angles that have got nothing to do with geometry. That can't be.
That can't be right.
That can't be right.
The really funny thing, is that the local Britons invited the Saxons over as mercenaries to kind of protect them after the Romans left.
Yeah, see how that worked out.
And Irish just put in the chat, for those of you who don't know what Buckfast is, it's a horrible drink. They said the Vikings didn't like Buckfast.
Bloody right, they didn't. Oh, Buckfast. Oh,
horrible. Wally decided to put his clothes on. He didn't come back naked.
Yeah, nobody wants to see a naked Wally. Well,
I don't think we should let Wally out until he actually speaks. It's not coming in here and putting stuff in the internal chat is not good enough.
Oh, he does speak.
Does he?
He does.
He does in his videos, yeah, but not here.
I've spoken. I think most of us have spoken to Wally before at some point, haven't we?
Oh God, yeah. No, I haven't. Not directly. I speak to him on chat a lot in Discord, an awful lot, but I never, not in voice ever.
Unlikely at the moment.
Unlikely at the moment. Why?
It's obviously somewhere where he really doesn't want to sort of unmute the mic.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, probably.
99s or 81 and all.
He might be in the environment where he can't speak. Yeah.
The environment. No, he's probably out of the environment. You know what I'm referring to. The boat, the ship with the front fell off. That one.
Is it supposed to do that? Well, obviously not.
Oh, the front's not supposed to fall off. Start.
That's still one of the funniest sketches I've ever
Oh,
seen.
that
Like,
is hilarious.
yeah, and then the front fell off.
Oh, they're built with
Well,
legs.
we've been going for 2 hours and 55 minutes nearly. What, Farmer?
No,
What? Well, we've got a video. We've got to play.
Stop!
Timbo
Just
Turtle.
whoa!
What?
Don't-
I got some videos here. We've got to
Quick,
go
show
through.
some videos whilst. No, I'm not even going to say that. Just go for it. Yeah, just.
Yeah, okay.
Blimey.
We've got a Timbo Turtle here that says Bev gets straight to the point. What?
No, he doesn't. Ever.
Hey,
Well,
that's a contradiction.
The only time he'd get straight to the point is if somebody stabbed him with a knife.
Something's not right here. I think Timbo's got some explaining to do.
Oh, well, it's one of them, is it? I think he better mention the four-letter
Are
word.
you well enough to do anything for me, Matt?
I could do, but it's
you can do it, Matt. You can do
okay.
it.
Oh, okay. I'll do it then. Terry, can you press press play, please?
Okay.
I've got a little short video here of when I asked Bev about a straight line, and I thought you might find his
What? Turn it
responses
up a bit. I can't
interesting.
hear.
He's gone all sotto voce.
He's quite.
Anyway, can I ask a question, Bev? When you think of a straight line, do you think of it as 3-dimensional or 1-dimensional or 2-dimensional? Like, do you
The
see
concept of it is geometric.
Do you see it as
So
a
all
line drawn straight?
all of the
and-
foundations of the
Multi-
geometric system apply
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it?
I
They
get it.
all come together.
That wasn't what I asked. I asked how you envision it. You asked me how I envision things. I answered you. I'm asking you how you envision it. Do you see it as a line drawn on a piece of paper, for example, on top of a desktop, or do you see it as 3-dimensional? Like, could be anywhere. This point XYZ to this point XYZ. I'm just curious.
Okay. For me, the straight line, the fundamentals of a straight line are governed mainly by the diameter. But that means that the diameter can transpose itself.
How do you get a diameter out of a straight line? Please explain. Please explain that one.
Oh, Jesus.
To the hypotenuse of a right-angled triangle.
Sorry,
that governs straight. I know I've probably lost you. I know.
What's the
Don't
diameter?
worry about it.
Where's diameter in any of this? Sorry, isn't a straight line the distance between 2 points? Is that not what you believe? Or
isn't that not a circle?
A straight
line.
line.
Not a circle.
A straight line.
A straight line's a circle.
I don't remember you asking that. I was in the chat as well at the time by the looks of things, but I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember that?
Okay. No, I remember Ben being there, but I'm probably away from the computer at the time because he got bored.
I think you've probably gone away. You couldn't handle it.
Yeah, probably.
So a straight line's a circle. I'll remember that.
Between 2 points. Straight line. The word straight line is a straight line, not the shortest distance between 2 points. Isn't that not how you guys
like a radius? A radius would definitely be a straight line, wouldn't it? And by that governing of that, you should know that a diameter is also a must-be straight line. There's no way a diameter could not be straight because of the fundamental understandings of how people understand a straight line. I don't know.
I personally don't have a problem with it.
Good.
Or diameters, whether it be on a plane, a circle, or a sphere, or a straight line.
The diameters, yes, they're straight lines. They have to be. Otherwise, you lose the relationship of pi within your fundamental mathematical structure.
But I don't understand why, when I talked about a straight line, because funny enough, straight lines are outside of circles as well, why you had to bring diameter into it. I don't get that.
Because that's at least we can have a fundamental understanding that there is no other way with a diameter. The moment you talk about diameter, you're bringing in pi. And
So
the understanding of
did I
that is
bring up-
absolutely mathematical.
Did I bring up?
Right. So we are
Any of that?
all in the fundamental understanding of our mathematical knowing about what straight is. That's why I brought it up.
So I understand what you've said through there, but you still see straight line as just the shortest distance between 2 points, right?
In reality,
Yeah,
yes,
that's fine.
it
I
can
don't
be
see-
measured,
I don't-
can't it, to
I
be
don't-
so?
I don't
It can
see
be
why
measured.
He won't answer the
had to
question,
go
will he,
through the whole
directly?
other
He
thing
just
just to
won't.
say that. That's just weird. Okay.
Just so you absolutely know, right? There can be no mistaking now what I consider a straight line to
Yeah.
be, can there?
And because initially it was just I wanted to know whether you saw it as a planar, like on one plane, or whether you saw it as it could be three-dimensionally anywhere. That was all.
Yeah, like a diameter of a circle, it can be anywhere and it can be used in
And-
any orientation. It's
Yeah.
a straight line. Everybody
Right.
understands what a straight line is,
I don't see
and
why
that they
that's a
can
problem.
put it anywhere in reality, in any orientation,
Has
for
anyone
it
got
to
a
be a
problem?
straight line.
Has anyone had a problem with it?
Here we go.
You guys are about to, yeah.
We're about to have a problem with what you just said.
Well, the very fact that I'm talking about this straight line being a straight line and Euclidean, yeah, you're going to have a problem with it
Why
because
is
you've
it?
got a model.
Has anybody got a problem with it?
I don't think any of us have got a problem with it.
Oh, I spoke up. I wasn't.
What with
Well,
Bev?
there you go. Next time you need to draw a straight line.
Matt got
pull
his
out
2
the
cents
compass
worth.
so that
Yeah.
you can get your radius right, and you'll be all set. This is Timbo Turtle. See you later.
Must have been listening. I just don't remember that conversation. Has anybody got? I think probably what I was trying to do is end the conversation at that point. Has anyone got a problem with it? No. Okay, move on.
He definitely doesn't like to use words similar to what we use, like when you said a straight line's the shortest distance between 2 points. He didn't even go anywhere near that.
I mean, not once were the words collinear mentioned.
No.
No.
What he was
Well, I
doing
didn't
was
even-
desperately.
We hadn't even brought up.
trying to get around to criticizing the concept that on the surface of a sphere, the line is the diameter nor the radius are straight. That's what he was trying to get.
But what
to.
I could understand is we hadn't mentioned circles or curves or anything
right
up until, and it was like, where did this come from? I just asked what was the straight line.
He's banging on about diameters.
And his first answer was the radius.
What's a straight line, Bev? Well, what's a straight line, Bev? Well, first you draw a diameter, then you draw a circle. Okay, then you erase the circle, and what's left is a straight line. What?
Right.
Because I didn't know a straight line can be a circle.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Well,
the most obvious
you know, if
answer. I
you
mean, like,
take the straight line and bend it.
why you can't give the most obvious answer? Like, for instance, if I ask my son, right, he's 12 years of age, if I ask him, so, okay, what is a straight line? The first thing he's do is going to get a piece of paper, and he's probably going to get a ruler out, and he's going to go draw a straight line a few centimeters long. No,
yeah.
Bev has to talk about circles and diameters. Come again? What?
Yeah.
What?
Because my initial intention of the question was to sort of try and get an idea how he sees, like because I think of a line as three-dimensional space. Excuse me. And I was trying to get a sense of, do you only see everything kind of two-dimensional plane, like on a piece of paper, like in math? And that was, I wasn't expecting to go anywhere near circles and stuff.
Whereas Wally said, and he's quite correct, he says, both when accept spherical geometry is the shortest distance between 2 points to the surface is a great circle segment. Yeah, well, we know that. He would never accept that.
Yeah.
And he also knows that pi changes when you leave planar geometry. Oh, yeah, they're all having misfits about that. They think, that Blue's lost the plot because pi doesn't stay the same when you're talking about a spherical object.
I'm going to jump off for a sec. I need to take a leak, and then I'm going to reconnect on my phone because I'm going to go have a cigarette.
But on the
We
surface
didn't really
of it-
need to know that much detail. I mean,
Well,
Alan's trying to say something here.
it's all about the
Alan.
details.
Sorry, Limey. Alan was talking.
So I was only going to say, but on the surface of a sphere, a great circle is a straight line.
Yeah.
It's a geodesic, but
That's who it was, Mabbit, over on Geos.
Why? What did he say?
Well, not Geos, over on Gems. I was arguing with him, trying to explain to him how a straight line can be curved.
Well, send him over to Bev now. You can explain it to him.
Well, I got him because he was getting tongue-tied. I wish I had a recording of that section of the stream. I don't know where it'd be.
As soon as you have anything else other than Euclidean geometry, Bev is absolutely and completely lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's lost in a great deal of Euclidean, actually.
Euclidean. I was going to say.
Well, I mean, like as soon as you mention anything about geometry, like anything related to geometry, for some reason, the first thing he says, "Oh, that's Euclidean." But what? Why does he feel the need to say this? It's because
it's the only thing he kind of knows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. And
he knows the word. He knows the words, Matt. That's better.
And according to him as well, he said in his Discord as well. He said that if it's not Euclidean, then it's not reality. Yeah, I heard him say that.
Yeah.
I heard him say those words.
Yeah.
We only use Euclidean here because we live in reality. Is his words apparently?
You know, you can read Euclid's description of what a straight line is in less than 6 seconds. Bev has spent an entire year delving into the mysteries of the straight line. That's phenomenal. It's one sentence, Bev. One sentence.
Yeah.
Yes, they're I'm so like, haven't they really only got into one or two of the whole Euclid's anyway? Really, one or two presets? It's weird. I haven't got very far at all.
Of course, there are many, many other geometries other than Euclidean.
I know, but they're not reality. No, you can't use them. You're not allowed to use them because they're not reality.
Wally, Blue and I love to wind up Bev with blue marble science and spheres. I wonder if Wally wants to get a certificate to be a blue marble scientist.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
we're all blue marble scientists. If you talk to Blue or disagree with Bev, oh no, you just need to disagree with Bev.
He's got to have the certificate.
Yeah,
got to have a certificate. Yeah, got to have a certificate.
Yeah, Wally, you want the certificate?
Certificate. Blue marble scientist.
You got to have a blue marble. Everyone get out your blue marble certificates.
I want to be certified.
Apparently, I also have a scientific method, the blue marble scientific method, which I have no idea what it is.
Oh,
I didn't know I had one, but apparently I do, according to Bev. So,
okay.
If anyone finds out what my scientific method is, please let me know.
Okay. Oh, there's Timbo's. He's flashing.
There you go.
There you go. I'll pin it.
All right,
there you go.
Okay.
I must be really clever because I was issued with 2 blue marble certificates.
Yeah.
How'd you get 2?
I don't know. You ask the person that issued them. I have nothing to do with me.
I've got to get mine reissued.
Oh,
There was a
that's the
spelling
wrong one.
mistake. I had a spelling mistake on mine.
Well, you're supposed to.
Ah. Yeah, but it was my
That's
name.
the old one, actually. Okay.
That's right. Your name on a certificate doesn't matter. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but I fixed it.
You fixed it, did you?
Yeah, it's in the, it's been there for a couple of weeks, a week or so.
Was it? Oh, I hadn't noticed.
Pretty much straight away. Just look in your DM. It's in there. I think.
Okay. Look at me DMs.
Apparently, we're not. But according to a couple of his lemmings, we're blue marbles, something or other. I can't remember what we call them now. Thugs or something. I don't know. According to one of his lemmings.
I'm not a thug, and anybody who calls me that, I'll fight them.
Ah,
You'll beat him up.
No, I'll just
I
get me machete out. They all seem to be shit scared of that. Can't believe how much butthurt they exhibited over that, and at the time I didn't even know I'd got it on me. I only found out after the fact, only because Rumpus was going on about it.
oh,
You got a
was that?
machete? Yeah, didn't use it though.
Oh, is that where you're
There
going to
you
do
go.
that canal test thing?
Well, we were going down there to do some work, and we hadn't been there for several months. And I thought it's liable to be a bit overgrown. I know I've got a machete. I'll sling it in my rucksack in case I need it, and never needed it. It wasn't that bad. But it's like I like to be prepared, you know. Otherwise, you get all the way there and think, oh, if only I'd brought my machete with me, we could cut some of this undergrowth back. But as it turns out, we didn't need it, and nobody at the time, none of that lot who were 6 miles away, had the faintest idea that I'd got it on me. It wasn't until like way afterwards. I think it was might have been Jose's stream. I'm not sure. And he said, "Oh, you got your machete with you?" And they went, "You had a machete? What were you going to do? Attack us with it?" Whatever, you know.
Yeah, there's my certificate just to prove I'm a blue marble scientist.
Well
Shit,
done.
I mean, I've got to go and find mine and download it. Hang on a minute. Oh, good grief.
I got mine. Where's yours?
We started a diploma mill. It's awesome.
Are you qualified to get one too, Limey?
Technically, I'm already a PhD, pretty heavy dude. So, you know, I'm good.
Yeah, but to be a blue marble scientist, you definitely need the proper certification.
That's true. That's true.
Shit, no, got to find.
We'll just have to see what we can do.
10 pence a copy.
And
You've got to send 100. You've got to send 100 quid to blue marble.
I didn't. Well, there's something wrong because I didn't pay 100 quid.
Might take me a year.
Yours can't be authentic then.
I don't make that much off YouTube, so yeah, maybe I can get it for my.
Oh,
go.
Farmers is flashing these two. There we go.
I've got one.
Okay,
that's good.
Yes, you've got it.
Thank you for that, Farmer's Boy. Now all I got to do is a screen grab, and I've got my own.
Hey, you know who doesn't? You know who doesn't have one? Me.
You don't have one.
I don't have one.
Blue Marble Science doesn't have a Blue Marble Science certificate.
Actually, I was working on I was working on special ones for you and Paul.
Alan's got one too. There you go. There's Alan.
Yeah, where's mine, Timbo?
Yeah, where's yours?
Yeah, I was working on a PhD for you, Paul.
They spelled yours wrong.
You said you were going to give him a PhD, didn't you?
They
I want a
spelled
blue
yours
marble.
wrong,
I want a blue marble doctorate.
The doctorate. Okay, we can be a doctorate in blue marble science.
Yeah.
There we go. Do that. There you go.
Timbo, Farmers has got a spelling mistake. It should say agricultural adolescent.
There you go. There's mine as well. Just for proof. You see it?
Yes, it has some special stuff on there, like the. Have you seen what NEA stands for, and some of the text?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's all right. It's fine. I mean, it's
changes.
I mean, it's about as useful as a best certificate in surveying.
As any other one.
Yeah, but it's proof that we're certified in blue marble science.
That's right.
What is blue marble science?
We don't know.
Anybody define it?
We don't.
That's the problem. We don't
know.
know.
Blue marble. Do you know what blue marble science is?
No, I don't. I don't have a clue.
Oh, really? Oh. But we got certificates in it.
Blue marble science is anything that opposes the bullshit that Bev says.
Oh, okay.
And it's more authentic than Bev's so-called certificate.
On the back way, I don't have a key because I'm smoking. I can't walk through the house.
Okay.
I'm smoking.
Oh, sorry, guys. I didn't mute myself.
That sounds like a you problem, Limey.
Who on earth would do something like that and not mute themselves?
Yeah, I wonder.
Yes,
and why you all let it go on instead of Terry just muting me?
No, we were listening.
I couldn't give a bugger.
We wanted to hear you go off at the delivery guy for some reason.
Why would I do that? It's
Well, he might
probably a
have
good
blamed
job.
you for it.
It's probably a good job that they didn't have a trolley, so they could manhandle it round the side on next door's grass instead.
Oh, that would have been good.
I think Tiny Captain has got it. He said the blue marble scientist method is just being correct.
Yes,
That's
that
what
would
they
be.
don't
That
like.
would be.
Yeah,
that would be the attribute. Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy with that. That makes me. I'm right all the time. Then okay, I can live with that. I can say whatever I like, and it's going to be correct.
All right, guys, I'm going to jump off. I'm got a stream starting in a little bit as well. So
no worries, mate.
Oh, okay.
all right.
All right, Triggered. Have a good one.
Well, don't
Cheers for
cross the
having me.
streams.
Take it easy.
See you,
Thanks,
Limey.
Limey.
Yeah, have a good one. And just like that, he's gone. Poof.
Yep, just like that.
Who are you calling a puff?
Poof.
Oh,
Do you think we can squeeze out a couple of videos?
What are you going to say then?
What?
Nothing.
Squeeze something out. Hang on a minute.
Matt,
Yes, Terry.
you're delusional.
Well, we know that.
Well, yeah, that's a given. I can't even speak properly at the moment. Can't even get my words out. They can't end up
You need more you need more drugs.
It's
Right,
because
okay.
you're
right.
too sober.
Yeah.
You are what's known as nerd. You're not drunk. You've gone too far the other way. You need to balance it.
I need more prescription meds. Is that what you're saying?
More Grey Goose.
Yeah, more Grey Goose. Well, I've got this coding tincture that will probably do actually.
I wonder if Wally would mind if I played one of his videos. You think he'd mind?
Do you mind if we play one of your videos? Oh, yeah, I do actually. Yeah. What?
Like, I don't want to play it with and get a copyright strike for or anything like that. We wouldn't want that. How do you spell play, Wally?
Aptly, playa, play.
Have you got dyslexic fingers again, mate?
Yeah, Wally.
You, Wally.
So as yeah, you might want to make
Yeah,
sound
I'm just
happen
getting
first.
it all sorted over on my end. Get that sorted over there. So you can see that, even though I've got it round the wrong way. It don't matter.
Yeah.
What's he on about? I don't know. Why are you whispering? Don't know. And then probably the best thing to do is then press play, Terry.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. Thanks, Matt.
Hey, there's a thought.
Hey guys, I was watching a wide awake video and something just slapped me fair in the face.
Oh, the fucking heavy.
All right.
G'day everybody, where's Wally here? Well, me old mate,
There's Wally.
Aussie legend, no fanfare. Well, he has kept his head down for a long time, but I guess he saw something and rather than properly doing his own research, he jumped to a conclusion and saw something that he mistook as flat and jumped back up on his soapbox to make a fool of himself once more. Thanks, no fanfare. Been missing you, mate.
Yeah.
Hey, Wolfie, what do you think? Is no fanfare onto something, or did he fail hard at seeing the obvious yet again?
Yes, Wally. Once again, we have flat earthers totally forgetting to do their own research. They should learn to trust their senses better, shouldn't they? And you can see from their own video, when properly synced, it actually does a very good job of showing Earth curvature because the rocket wasn't visible for the first 20 or 30 seconds of its flight. Thanks, Wally.
Wolfie. Thanks, mate. I will give you the shortened version of NFS fail, and then I will show you why he's a goose. See if you can spot it. So first of all, no fanfare, he mucks about trying to get the Earth curve drop, so I'll do a Walter Bislin just to be sure. And I did read in the comments that Wide Awake mentions he's more likely 110 miles away and 90 feet up. So no fanfare goes on for a bit, then he tries to state the hidden as multiples of Falcon heavy height. Not sure why.
from Wide Awake's viewing point, there would be a little over 25.5 rocket heights before you would even see the nose of that rocket.
Let's skip all that silliness and get to the meat. Actually, I'll start by playing my synced up video because anyone who knows me knows that, of course, that's exactly what I would have done. So I grabbed the SpaceX official launch to landing footage. I also got a good friend of mine, Astronomy Live, and some dude called Reds. They had a uncut launch to landing video too, so I stole a bit of that. At the top right, I put Wide Awake's full video too, and I will play his audio as the one we're going to hear. Now, I'll play some more of No Fanfare in the bottom right quarter while the boosters are coasting back to the landing zone. Enjoy it and pay particular attention to the first 30 seconds.
No, so far so good.
Where's the rocket in the top right-hand image? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
You're too
where
far
is
away.
it?
You can't see it yet.
Is it because there's a bit of earth in the way?
Just a bit,
No,
yeah.
there's trees in there.
Somebody threw a quick hill up. You know.
Yeah. A bit of hump.
Yeah.
Earth hump.
Dirty earth. Dirty boy.
Oh,
there it is. Oh, it just took its time.
Well, it is far, far away.
Nice proof of curvature there, mate. Huh, not half.
Not half, mate.
Did talk about him, mate.
No Fanfare, he did put in a lot of time and effort into this. Pity he did the wrong thing by synchronizing on the audio.
Booster engine followed by a separation of the side boosters and followed by their side booster boost back burns. And then the main engine cut off Eco.
Yeah, Wally, I think the sound on Wide Awake's video is a bit iffy, and then once it goes through this process as well, it just gets iffier.
Yeah, but it should be all right on the actual stream itself. It's just when it comes onto Zoom as well, it's just a bit weird.
Always suffers a little bit, doesn't it?
And those two side boosters can begin to make their way back down to Earth with their boost backwards.
Iffy times iffy becomes jiffy.
Iffy squared.
I don't know. Yeah. It's not catchy enough.
A very respectable job with the camera there, Wide Awake. Well done, sir.
That was probably the most spectacular booster separation that I've seen so far. The effects, the exhaust from it is amazing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's quite something.
Side boosters have lit back up. They are now in their boost back burn, making their way back down to Earth. Side boosters are returning to engines. It's 3 of the 9 M1D engines.
So we'll just watch these boosters cruise back to base while No Fanfare figures out the drop and converts it to rocket spans. No Fanfare, I think we'll just stick with meters. They seem to work perfectly well and everyone understands them.
We'll take a look at wider weights.
Let me make sure everything in
the,
football fields.
SpaceX Falcon Heavy range.
SpaceX screwed up their stream a little bit there.
Right, I've got wider weights video clip of the launch and the original launch synced side by side. I've synced the audio, but the audio and the original, when he says 9, the clock goes to 8. So there's a bit of a discrepancy there for starters. And
Well, there would be because
small. I'll render this video.
There's always going to be a latency
And at
with
those
what
cold
they're
gas
streaming
thrusters,
anyway.
you can
Plus
even
your own
see
internet,
how
you
nicely
know?
they're matching.
That's just to start with.
But I'll just play this with them sing with both the audios going. Then I'll try and mute one and then I'll mute the other one.
Hey, where did that KFC come from? I'm hungry.
Sort of get an idea of what's going on. Right, let's play that.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine full power. And liftoff.
Well, there's going to be a discrepancy in the morning.
Right, it's mute wider weights audio.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine full power. And liftoff of USSF 67. Go Falcon Heavy. Go Space Force.
Go what heavy? SpaceX click muted and wider weights audio going. You can see the sync.
The programs for the side boosters have begun. They're
Now on that now and we go back. We can see this shit together.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7.
The entry burns for both side boosters have now concluded.
6,
And
5.
next up will be the final burn for each of these side boosters. That is the landing burn. It is just a single engine burn, the 789 engine. Each one of these M1D engines have about 190,000 pounds of thrust. That is enough to slow the vehicle down just in time for landing. And you can see the coast of Florida on the back.
2, 1. Engine full power. And liftoff of USSF 67. Go Falcon Heavy. Go Space Force.
That's about 20 seconds.
And I'll render that then to sync side by side. Full screen so you can watch that.
Are those landing burns?
Minus 10,
On the side boosters,
9,
has
8,
touchdown.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine full power. And liftoff of USSF 67. Go Falcon Heavy. Go Space Force.
On one screenshot, I can fit 8 rocket heights. And for wider weight from his location, there has to be 25 rocket heights in the air before wider weight would even see it. 25 plus rocket heights.
Easy 25 rocket heights. Just doesn't seem to match with reality. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching.
I can't see what his problem is.
Oh, I think it does match reality quite well. So here's the summary. Wide Awake's video shows the very fast-moving rocket as it's coming into view, so clearly it has already been in flight for more than just a few seconds. That's a bit of an oops there. 2, No Fanfares used audio to sync, which was not real good, as the live stream has transmission delays. He did not seem to be aware of this, poor guy. 3, when synced visually to the SpaceX and Astronomy Live's video, there is clearly 30 seconds of flight time missing right from the start of Wide Awake's video. 4, Walter Bislin's Earth Curve calculator shows that there is a neat 2,000 meters of hidden. And when we look at the SpaceX telemetry, guess where the Falcon Heavy is at around the 30-second mark? Yes, right on the 2,000 meter mark. How convenient. 5, and when the landing burn starts, it seems the boosters are less than 2 kilometers from the ground. And that's probably why Wide Awake did not manage to catch the landing burn in his video. Number 6, No Fanfare has deleted his video. Oh, sad. But have no fear, I have a link to an unlisted version of it in the description below, as always. And number 7, finally, the logic that he was bringing was, if globe, then curvature. Of course, he wanted to say there was no curvature, but clearly there is curvature. So there is curvature, therefore globe. Thanks very much, No Fanfare. Oh, I don't think we'll have any problem at all, my dear Flurf friend. Well, thanks, guys. This is a particularly nice old school video, and it's really good to see one where the Flurfs themselves go to a whole pile of effort to show that they know exactly what the globe model is. They try to
What am I
debunk it
doing
and
over
fail
there?
miserably. Oh, good times. Enjoy.
I've seen myself heights sneaking up
Oh,
on the
and
side.
finally, one more thing. I should do this submission. Is this a flat Earth claim? Yep. And did it fail gloriously? Almost certainly. Thanks, Dan.
There is something supremely satisfying about a flat earther debunking the flat earth in his own video.
And the fact that he deleted it as well. Interesting.
Yeah. If that
Why
isn't a
would they
clear
do that?
admission of, oh shit, I cocked up.
Yeah, why would they do that?
The earth is flat, but it took me nearly 30 seconds before I could see the rocket that had taken off all that time ago.
As Wally says in the Jays, his own goals are always. Yeah.
Oh, they all, yeah, you can't.
They're the
beat
best
them.
ones.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
And of course, you can't forget. Interesting.
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 Trying to catch up on Wally's internal messages.
In days of old, it was Ranty, the globe earth prover, you know.
Do I need to read out Wally's internal chat?
If you want.
They still insist the rocket will land in the ocean. Yeah. Except for the ones that don't.
Well,
What
yeah,
about them?
strictly speaking, quite often, the first
They do.
stage does land out in the ocean, only it happens to land on a barge. But that's only the first stage. The rest of it's in space by then.
Yeah. Well, the thing is to forget is that, they always bang on about, all the rockets land in the Bermuda Triangle. Well, what about the ones that don't fly over the Bermuda Triangle?
Yeah.
Like the ones launched in Russia, like the ones launched in bloody China, like the ones launched in New Zealand.
Well,
or the ones launched to other parts of the United States other than
Yeah, like
Florida.
Vandenberg.
Like
you know,
Vandenberg, correct.
They're going in a different bloody direction.
Yeah. Or the ones on the West Coast.
Yeah. Any of them that don't launch from Florida.
In fact, I didn't even think the Florida ones went over the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, well, some don't, some do.
Yeah, I thought they were too far north for that.
Depends on the orbital inclination, I guess.
Well, from what I remember, Kennedy's about halfway up the Florida panhandle, isn't it?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah.
Yeah, give or take, because I have been there. And I thought that most of the Bermuda Triangle stuff was down nearer the Keys, so at the bottom end of
Further
the
south. Yeah, a bit further
Right,
south. Yeah.
China. So unless they're launching south from Kennedy, one wouldn't have thought they'd have done very much over the Bermuda Triangle at all.
Or southeasterly, maybe. Probably good. But
Yeah.
yeah, anything slightly north of zero, it's not going to go anywhere near it.
Well, I just Googled, and it's got on the Google Maps, it's got what I presume is the center of what's known as the Bermuda Triangle, and it's east of the Bahamas and north of the Dominican Republic. So it's quite a way down.
Show your screen, farmers. So you can see what he's talking about.
Okay.
I just googled Bermuda Triangle and shows pictures where it is.
I was going to say, from my
There.
memory, the Bermuda Triangle kind of runs from Miami out, and then
Yeah, I mean it's not showing the triangle, but I presume that on Google Maps this is the center of it.
Yeah, so
There's the
give or
Bahamas,
take.
Turks
Yeah,
and
it's the
Caicos,
Bahamas,
Dominican Republic. Yeah, and where's Kennedy up?
Further north, a
Is it
bit
further
further north? Yeah, a little bit. No, not
Yeah, south of Daytona.
Yeah, before Daytona. Yeah.
See Titusville, that's where it is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, there
it's,
you go.
it's that lump that sticks
Yeah.
out.
That
Isn't
bit
it?
there,
So
yeah.
if you look at where that is, rockets are going that way. They're
Well,
not
some
going
are.
that
Some
way.
are. Depends on the inclination, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but by and large, they're heading east, aren't they?
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, we all know that it's let's stop that. We all know that it's nonsense anyway that the rockets are going into the sea because you're not going to
They come
spend
back.
millions, if not billions, of dollars on something and just lob it into the ocean.
And a lot of them come back. So
Well, SpaceX. I mean, to be fair, I mean, majority of rocket launches are disposable now. The first booster stages are, for the most part. So they're not wrong to a certain degree, but they're all banging on about the Bermuda Triangle and all the rest of it. But then you got China that are launching stuff and it's flying into towns and all kinds of different places. It's kind of like, okay,
No,
what about them?
they're in on the secret as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It all stems back to when they watch film of a rocket launch. They expect to see a rocket go straight up, which of course you don't do.
Doesn't.
As soon as it's launched, it starts curving over. And if you look at that curve, you could interpret that as saying, oh, look, it's going to carry on down and drop into the ocean, because they don't understand, and I hate to say it, perspective.
Yeah.
It might look like it's doing that, but it is, of course, still climbing. But obviously, it at the range that you can see it, it's now starting to follow the curvature of the Earth. Although
Well, if you're going to go into orbit, you're going to have to.
Yeah.
Well,
but
let's face it, farmers. It's not even perspective. It's just they don't 3D.
No flat earthers
Yeah.
can 3D. They cannot conceptualize and visualize things in 3D. And they all expect rockets to go straight up because that's what rockets do in their little world.
Yeah.
The ones that really do go straight up, like a certain rocket, hits the firmament because they heard something go clunk. Yeah. I can't remember what that one was called. You know, the one that had the yo-yo spin device, D-spin device.
That's the one.
And it went clunk, stopped spinning, and they say it's hit the firmament. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Except
Go
it-
fast.
except
or
it-
something, wasn't it? It was
Go
called.
fast. That's it.
Go fast.
Alan, thank you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
except it doesn't explode.
No,
or
exactly.
anything, just at the speed it's going. Can someone kick off my who's got powers, by the way? Can you kick off the Timbo Turtle that's got the the zoom? Just leave the one.
What?
That's
Which
just
one?
says
Which one do you want?
leave the one that says the name Timbo Turtle and get rid of the other one.
Leave that one. And kick the other one out.
Yeah. I've just moved computers. That's it. So that's the one you want to keep. Keep that one. The one that's got my.
Which one?
I'm talking to. The one I'm talking with.
Okay, I've
Who?
got you.
Who?
Yeah.
Which one do I do that? That one?
I'm trying to see where
How
you're
do I do
pointing.
the right one?
That's it.
Did I
You
do
got
the, Did I do the right one?
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
it.
you got it.
Report. What do you want to report? Report.
I don't want to report it.
removed. What
New
happened?
report.
I'll tell you later. Include desktop screenshot. No,
We'll
no,
just
no. I'm
say-
not going to report.
Save
No,
having
don't
two people
report.
on it. I was going
I'm
to
not
say
gonna
silly
report.
thing about the Bermuda Triangle is that more things go missing in lots of other places around the world than the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes.
The Great Lakes Triangle, which is a much smaller area, far more ships go missing there than the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, it's just got this certain story behind it that seems to have grown over the years, and this certain mythos behind it all. And
yeah, a few aeroplanes and ships disappeared in mysterious circumstances.
Well, wasn't there a documentary on TV about planes or something coming back from it or something?
there was the ones that feature in Close Encounters of the
Oh,
Lost
was
Kind.
that a movie?
Of the
Wasn't
third
that a
kind.
documentary?
No, that wasn't,
That wasn't
a documentary.
a documentary.
But there was a flight of Avenger torpedo bombers that were lost in that area, and it's basically because the guy who's in charge of the flight got lost, and they're all sticking together as a group formation, a squadron, and eventually they all ran out of fuel.
Yeah, I think they were on the wrong side of the islands than they thought they were, and so they were heading in the wrong direction, basically.
Yeah, I suspect it's one of those classic cases of being 180 degrees out or something. And of course, you're out over the featureless ocean. It's not like you've got landmarks to look out for. Yeah.
No, they weren't using the stars or the sun or anything like that because we don't know if it was sunny or cloudy or what it was.
I was towards stars. They had nothing to navigate with. So
no, literally nothing.
Yeah. You've only got to look at there was a mission that took off from Exeter during the war to escort bombers to Cherbourg.
Yeah.
And it turned out that the wind was they got themselves in this wind. The wind was blowing 150 miles an hour faster than they thought it was south. So they ended up 400. They ended up twice as far down. So when they turned around and flew back, even though they couldn't get hold of Exeter on the radio, when they flew over Cherbourg, they thought they were actually back over Devon.
Yeah. Well, of course,
went down to land.
It was World War II when they discovered jet streams.
Yeah.
Because they were now flying high enough to encounter jet streams. And there were several tales of Lancasters going out on nighttime bombing missions and all of a sudden really struggling and thinking, why aren't we going as fast as we should be? And they're flying against the jet stream because they're now high enough to be encountering jet streams.
Yeah.
And it still took quite a while for people to realise just what was going on.
I think the biggest one for that was the B-29s from Tinian to Japan.
Yeah. Because prior to that, we didn't have aircraft that really flew that high. And that's why contrails were never an issue, because we didn't fly that high. Now, all of a sudden, we're flying in the zone where contrails form. And it's like, oh, look, we're just advertising to everybody exactly where we are.
No. They're chemtrails. They're trying to poison us.
Well,
All online.
I remember one of the first big raids by the 8th Air Force, they effectively covered an area from the Wash to the Isle of Wight eastwards in a layer of cloud.
Yeah. Yeah. All the contrails coming off all those four engines of each plane. Yeah, just immense.
No, there's images on the internet there.
Changing the subject slightly and going back to what we were talking about before, because Wally can't talk, and to give him a fair shout, he said the shortest way to space is straight up. However, if you want to stay in space, you're going to have to go round. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
exactly.
Yes, it's an awful lot of fuel to get something to go straight up, and
then there was
direction.
There was a gloriously funny conversation that Blue Marble Science had with SC Montreal about escape velocities. You remember that, Blue?
Yes, yeah, I remember
Oh
that.
God, that was funny.
Yeah.
Oh my word, that was so funny.
There's a guy who hasn't got a clue.
Yeah, he thought that you had to reach escape velocity to escape the gravitational pull of the Earth to get to the moon.
Yeah. Well, it is Montreal after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, Big Blue wasn't sort of like giving the answer away, but
No, he wasn't being
Blue
nice.
kind of, Blue
No,
kind
I
of hinted
wasn't.
at the answer a number of times, and he still didn't get it. It was hilarious.
Well, it was too funny the way it was going.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
He did spell it out. He did spell it out, Blue. It's not like he didn't have the opportunity to twig. But
I think you said at one point, didn't you say something like, "The moon is the moon out of the gravitational field of the Earth," or something? I can't remember exactly.
and he
what it
said
was.
no. He said, yeah.
Something along those lines. Yeah, but you still didn't twig.
No, well, it's Montreal.
It's a lot funnier just to let them talk.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot funnier.
You're not going to change their mind
Often-
anyway. No point in trying
Yeah,
to
often I'm
teach.
in the. Sorry.
There's no point in
Often
trying
I'm
to.
in those. Go, Blue.
No, you go ahead.
You go.
No, you go.
No, you go.
Oh, one of you go. Bloody hell.
Okay.
Why don't you both go?
Like at nearly 2 o'clock in the morning and you're arguing about who's going to go. Come on.
Yeah.
I think we'll watch our last couple of videos, then we can sign out.
I think
Let's
that
do
might
it.
be a good idea. Yeah.
Press play, Terry.
Okay.
Oi, you're just stealing my job. How dare you? Somebody throw him out.
Blue's trying to take your job away, man.
I know he is. So to get rid of him. Sack him. My job.
Hey,
Terry,
Your job.
press play.
Yes, Matt. How you feeling?
Well, I'm sure you can tell by the way I sound how I feel like
Yeah.
crap. Press play, Terry.
Yeah, you do.
Hello, wonderful person. This is Anton, and today we're going to be discussing a new discovery from a relatively nearby star system, the system known as TOI 700 or TESS Object of Interest 700, where the scientists have recently identified another really intriguing planet, potentially Earth-like planet, orbiting in the habitable zone of the star, which actually makes the star system one of the most exciting nearby stars because it seems to contain two planets with potentially Earth-like conditions in the region of the star system where we do expect liquid water and maybe even atmosphere. And so let's talk about this discovery in a little bit more detail, and let's actually talk about some other exciting star systems that in the last few years the scientists have identified as having a really high chance to maybe contain an Earth-like planet with maybe liquid water. Although naturally, as of 2023, none have been confirmed so far, and even the atmosphere around these planets has not been seen just yet. But first, a little bit more about the star system itself and why it's kind of exciting. First of all, the star system is not really too close and not too far, just over 100 light years away from planet Earth, which does put it in the same galactic neighborhood as the solar system, but definitely a little bit on the farther side. I'll actually mention a few really exciting star systems that are closer to us near the end of the video. But unlike a lot of other star systems, especially the ones with red dwarfs, this star is about 40% the mass of our Sun, with a radius of about 55%, and so it's actually a little bit larger than most red dwarfs. It's a little bit closer to the K-type star, and as a result, it's actually not as active as a typical M dwarf or M-type star, and as of today has never been observed to produce major flares or major eruptions. In contrast, the nearest red dwarf, Proxima Centauri, about 4 light years away from us, is what's known as a flare star. Even though it contains a potentially terrestrial planet in the habitable zone as well, the amount of radiation, X-rays, and UV light it produces is several hundred times higher than what the Sun produces, suggesting that any planet in a star system would really not be habitable at all. But TOI 700 seems to be a little bit milder, although not as mild as the Sun. It receives hundreds of times less radiation than anything in the Proxima Centauri system. It also receives about 50 times less UV light than TRAPPIST-1e, the other terrestrial planet in the habitable zone of TRAPPIST-1 system, but about 35 times more than planet Earth, which does present a bit of a problem for any planet in this star system as well. Increased radiation suggests that it's much easier for atmosphere and water to disappear with time, but definitely a lot more promising than other red dwarfs. This star also seems to be much younger than a lot of other red dwarfs, possibly being only about 1.5 billion years old, which basically means that it has quite a lot to go, with the planets potentially changing with time as the star transforms as well. In contrast, the solar system is about 4.5 billion years old, and a lot of other red dwarfs are even older. But when it comes to the properties of this newly discovered planet, first of all, it's about 10% smaller than the previously discovered planet D, the one located in the habitable zone as well, and approximately 95% the size of planet Earth. So both planet D and planet E are extremely Earth-like in size and potentially in mass, although planet D is a little bit more massive. For planet D, a single orbit is about 37 days. For the newly discovered planet E, it's about 28 days. And the other two planets, B and C, are obviously much closer, with one being a little bit smaller than Earth, and one, planet C, being about 2.5 times bigger. So definitely a pretty exciting star system, and potentially even more exciting than a lot of other red dwarfs, because during the observations for several years, the TESS telescope has not actually observed any major emissions. In other words, no emissions that would be potentially dangerous to the atmosphere or to the liquid water on the surface, making this a relatively mild star. It was also discovered that the planets don't seem to have a perfect resonance, which does imply that maybe there's something else a little bit farther away pulling at the planets, preventing them from having a stable orbit. So there might be a few more planets hiding on the outskirts. But as this illustration suggests, all of these planets, including planets in a lot of other star systems similar to this, are most likely extremely different from planet Earth. The newly discovered planet might resemble something like this. It's tidally locked and extremely hot on one side, and obviously much colder on the other side, with the planet D maybe resembling an eyeball planet, assuming of course that there is any liquid water. As of today, even after years of investigation, no signs of any liquid water or even atmosphere have been so far discovered around any red dwarf planet. And actually some of the most recent observations from the TRAPPIST-1 system, as of right now, discovered unfortunately nothing. Which doesn't mean that these planets do not have water or do not have atmosphere, it just means that it seems to be a little bit more difficult to identify it, or maybe the atmosphere is just very different from what we expected. We obviously have no idea what these planets are like, and all of this is just based on our understanding of what should happen here and what all of this might resemble. These star systems, which by the way are the most common star systems in a galaxy, are just so different from anything we have in the solar system, or I guess the other way around. The solar system is just really weird. And even though the scientists for many years have been saying the opposite, because of these new discoveries, it just makes it pretty clear that the solar system is the weird one in the galaxy, not the other way around. But still, there's a really high chance that these are terrestrial planets, and that they might to some extent resemble one of the terrestrial planets in the solar system. Although, like I've mentioned in previous videos, calling them terrestrial planets is still a bit of a misnomer. Here, it really comes down to geology. The actual composition of rocks and the actual minerals are also really important. For example, one of the reasons planet Earth even has the liquid water on the surface is because of very specific minerals with very specific concentration in the upper crust and in the mantle. And through various types of volcanism, some of the water gets released over time, staying on the planet just long enough to create the oceans. I mean, I'm kind of simplifying this, but that's one of the main factors to consider. So the mineral composition is also really important. For all we know, these could be terrestrial, but made out of some really strange mineral that absorbs water and does not let it out. But there's really no way to determine this just yet. The only possible way of answering this right now is if we actually discover some kind of an asteroid coming from another star system, possibly a red dwarf, crashing somewhere on planet Earth, and basically revealing to us what some of these planets are made from. But at the moment, nobody has discovered any of these asteroids yet, which means that our understanding of these planets are still technically just scientific assumptions. There is really no way to test this just yet. Nevertheless, based on the observations from the star, the initial calculations did suggest that if there is atmosphere, it should be able to survive for at least 1 billion years. So maybe the atmosphere could be discovered here in the future by further more detailed observations from the James Webb Space Telescope. Although in this case, because of the distances and the size of the planet, the amount of transmission spectra produced may unfortunately be not enough to determine exactly what the atmosphere is made from. And so at least for now, this planet and the star system itself are just really exciting, but are going to remain unknown to us for a very long time. Nevertheless, there are still quite a lot of other planets, even closer to us, in other star systems that are also quite exciting. And at least one is around a sun-like star. We've discussed this back in the days, and there should be a video about this in the description, but it's a star system known as Tau Ceti, that also potentially contains several planets, with at least one in a habitable zone as well. Although in this case, it might be a super-Earth or a planet a little bit more massive than planet Earth, and way more dense as well. And then we also have a few really exciting red dwarfs within about 50 light years away from planet Earth, all containing multiple planets and at least one in the habitable zone. We have Gliese 1061, although in this case the actual orbit of the planet is a little bit more eccentric. We have Wolf 1061, with at least one massive planet in the habitable zone, Gliese 581, with a somewhat massive super-Earth located in the habitable zone as well, which back in the days was one of the first ever discovered. There's also an exciting triple star system, Gliese 667, where one of the stars seems to contain an exciting exoplanet as well, another red dwarf, LHS 1140, with a super-Earth in the habitable zone, and the most famous ones, Proxima Centauri, the closest star to us, and TRAPPIST-1 that contains 7 terrestrial planets, with at least 3 in the habitable zone. And that's of course just the discoveries from the last 10 years. Chances are we're going to have a lot more in the next few years, because the TESS telescope is still continuously looking for even more planets. And so chances are you might discover a few more in the next few years. But for now, that's pretty much it. Another super exciting star system to add to the list of exciting star systems that we've discussed in a lot of previous videos you can find in the description. On that note, thank you for watching, subscribe, share this with someone who loves learning about space and sciences, come back tomorrow to learn something else, and maybe support this channel on Patreon by joining channel membership or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description. Stay wonderful, I'll see you tomorrow, and as always, bye-bye.
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 So really the only... Oops, I shouldn't do that.
No.
There we go.
That's better.
Is sending probes out, not just relying on James Webb.
Yeah, the problem is sending probes out is just how long it will take to get there.
Just have to learn a way of getting there quicker.
Warp speed, Mr. Seeley. That's the thing, because, you know, how far the 2 Voyagers got that we launched in the 70s.
I know. They're only just outside the solar system. As
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So sending a probe and thinking, okay, we'll wait for the data to come back. Well, actually, I won't, and my kids won't, and my grandkids.
No, we wouldn't. We won't be around.
No.
Yeah, those Voyager ones are in actually outer space.
I think so. Certainly, at least one of them is, if not both of them.
Yeah. Well,
sort of.
The lines of like what they consider interstellar space were a bit confused for a while. But the Voyager 2, as far as I know, is officially into interstellar space, which is basically outside the influence of the sun, technically speaking.
Thanks, Judy. But I've been on 500 subs for the last 12 months plus. I'll finish off with Simon because I'm feeling tired, and I know somebody else, another old man, might be feeling that way too.
Nobody wants to say anything. I'm not you again. Go away.
Anyway, Tiny Captain, I'm telling you, missing socks or plumpers. I keep telling you. Nobody believes me.
Do you know what? I've been here nearly 7 years. I've never lost any socks.
Yeah, me too. Touch wood.
You haven't got any Oompa Loompas then?
No. This isn't. Shut up. This is an Oompa Loompa free. For fuck's sake, cat. What? Oh, bloody hell.
Having a cat is like having a kid sometimes.
It is sometimes, yeah. Look, if I make
they always ask you, it's like kids, they always ask you for things at the wrong times. When you're in the middle of doing
hang on, I know what she wants. Half a mo. Come on then. Look, see, they can see you. There you go. Cat, right?
Yeah.
Cat, camera, camera. Look,
camera, cat.
Right, now piss off. And she has. Well done.
Oh, okay.
She's buggered off.
I know when I'm not wanted.
Sometimes she does. Sometimes you have to make it even clearer. Yeah.
Go away. Probably just thought, it's those morons again. I'll go.
Bless her. She gets lonely. She wants a bit of fuss. What she wants to do is jump up on the desk, and she can't anymore. She can't jump that high anymore. Bless her. And there's just no room for her anyway. So. She's one of these cats who wants to be right next to you, like touching you.
Terry, what we need to do, we need to think of a some sort of drive to try and get you to 1K. Because then what you could do is you could then monetize, and then earn a bit of money towards your computer, new computer. Oh, it hasn't crashed today as well. We've had no problems today. Oh, we're coming to an end now, anyway. It doesn't matter.
Matt.
Doesn't matter. What? Is Terry gone?
Better not have done.
He has. He's not there.
I'll send Farmer over to you.
Where are you anyway?
Who? What?
Just looking for. I closed Simon. Oh, here we go. There we go. Simon. I closed the tab by accident.
Oh, there you are. Because you're the main one. I'm just talking nonsense.
Okay. We'll finish off with Simon and then we're out. Yes, Blue Marble Science chat. A couple of more subs that come in handy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can spare a couple. I mean, he's got 20. He's only got 26 watching at the moment now. He's dropped a bit.
He's still got people watching him, watching us.
Yeah.
I'm watching Timbo watching you.
Oh,
yeah, and I got Timbo. Yeah, I got Timbo too watching Blue, watching me, watching.
A lot of watching going on here.
Yeah, that's what gets me, because you get some people want to do a video of people talking on Discord, and then they'll do a show of them talking on Discord about the people talking on Discord.
Yeah.
And then somebody else will do a video on top of that of people talking on Discord about the people talking on Discord about the people talking on Discord.
Yeah.
So you got all these layers of people talking on Discord about people that have said things, and it's like, well, hang on a minute, who's who now? What's going on? Like, I get confused.
Well, I'm not contributing. I've got one viewer.
Yeah, you got one there. What did you call it? Just looking at the name of it.
What, the stream?
It's called Warm Up Before Terry Starts.
Yeah.
But I've already started.
Well, I haven't changed
Well,
the name, have I?
That's the live one.
Yeah. Well,
No, you've had a few people in the chat.
Yeah.
You got 2 people watching. I'm one.
Yeah. Not a lot. But it's okay, you haven't got fallen over, so.
Tiny said you send farmers over because you just found out he owned. No, I already knew about that story, Tiny.
That's the least of your worries.
Yeah. Okay, where's Simon? Somewhere here. Simon, where are you? Go over there. Right, okay. Go there. Go there. Okay, everything's ready on my end, and then I'll finish up.
All right, Terry, press play. Press play, Terry. Hello.
Terry.
Terry? We lost Terry.
We've lost the stream.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Oh,
Stream
I shouldn't have said
crashed.
anything, should I? Oh,
no,
no.
you bloody shouldn't have. We were so close.
Yeah, almost got there. Almost got there.
Oh, dear me. Oh.
Oh my.
Oh, that's funny. There he goes.
Yep, there he goes. And Terry's gone. So
it's all Matt's.
well,
Matt's fault.
Yeah, Matt. Damn it.
There you go.
Well, actually, I was just kind of interested to see what would happen if I did it. I don't think I've ever done a stream this time of the day before. I just wondered if anybody would show up, and actually had a reasonable turnout. So I may start
Yeah.
doing some of these on the weekends, not on Saturdays when Terry's doing it, but do one maybe Sunday morning or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always around on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's kind of a blank day. Nobody hanging around. Nothing really to do. So,
do you know?
Heck
I
yeah.
can almost say when Matt killed it, because that stream lasted 4 hours, 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So I suspect at the 4 hour mark, it's when Matt said, "Oh, we haven't crashed yet either."
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I'd actually forgotten that we're going to have Dan, because we always have Dan at the end. And I've forgotten. I thought, oh, we've made it. We only got to say goodbyes.
We always
okay.
finish. Well, okay, today we wouldn't actually finish with Dan because Dan's.
Well, okay, guys. Terry's stream has gone down, so that'll pretty much wrap it up for this morning. I want to thank everybody for coming, though. And we may start doing this more often. So I'll take my headphones off because I'm listening to those guys, but I shut them off here on my stream. Anyway, everybody have a great weekend. What's left of it, and for some of us, there's quite a bit of it left. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.